Hello and welcome. Bit of an impromptu show tonight. I just managed to catch a conversation between a good friend of mine and somebody that's been in the YouTube Christian community for some years now. He disappeared for a while, but he seems to have made a bit of a comeback. None other than Gman and our friend Will Freeman. And for anyone, I'm sure there's nobody out there who doesn't know who G-Man is, but he is a preterist, I believe, is a good and fair description.
I don't think you're pronouncing that correctly. I think it's pronounced imbecile.
Always I always stuff that up. And Will comes into a conversation. He wanted atheists to come in and disprove God, which is, as Will tries to point out, is quite a nonsensical thing to do. But we'll see all about that.
At least
And-
the conversation is appropriate for the time of year because G-Man brings in St. Nicholas. He brings in Santa Claus, and that makes that perfect for a Christmas episode of your show.
Absolutely. So, and the best part, as we'll get to witness, is him demand that he is able to prove Santa, in these words, prove Santa Claus does not exist, failing to realize the irony of the analogy of Santa Claus to God.
His Dunning-Kruger disorder is the best Christmas gift I could have ever asked for.
It truly is fantastic. And hello to DT out there.
DT.
I'm so glad you're out there. You'll enjoy
Yes.
this. It's quite
DT's
fun.
sexy, by the way. That's a sexy man right there. I don't know if you know.
It certainly is. He says, "All power, Kafra, great. Oh, all power, Kafra, greater power."
Yeah, he's writing phonetically.
Except for God.
So
God
you
doesn't
saw this.
power. He's the ultimate power. He made himself,
Yeah.
Yep.
This is 2 weeks ago, DT.
But it's only appropriate now because of the Santa thing. Which
Yeah.
This is the week, right? Yeah, it does happen this week. Yeah.
Shit, it's like in 3 days or something. Wow. So perfect timing.
All right. Well,
Yeah, and if anyone has anything to say, I'll, without further ado, I'll press play. And I'll try not to pause too much. It's hard, especially when G-Man's fucking going. When you have a conversation with this other gentleman, Jungle Jargon, there's a lot of decent conversation, actually. But
excuse me. Wait. Before we go any farther, I want to clarify, is it intentional that we don't have a join link? Is that
no, not at all. I'm happy to if anyone.
I could put it out there, but it's going to look like you're doing it.
Yeah, that's all right.
There
you go. I'll do it. There you
no,
go.
Sarah, forget about it. You did do it because
Sweet.
I did it via you. Anyway.
Awesome.
We are one.
Yeah, and fuck if G-Man's awake.
That's what I'm thinking. Or Jill.
Right.
Jill might want to come in and defend his boy. When I say boy, I know that sounds racist, and because it is.
Yeah, come on, boy. Get in here.
You're going to be vindicated.
And I warn everyone, G-Man puts himself large screen, so we have to watch his lovely face for the whole conversation.
Can I just point out that when they say that black doesn't crack that Gman is living proof that that's bullshit. Like, I've watched him, and he definitely is aging like a raisin.
Yeah.
Raisin.
I wonder how old he actually is, to be honest.
Like, I think I've
No.
known him for like going on 20 years now. I believe it or not.
Yeah.
It's getting close to that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It
DT
kind of
can
alludes
vouch.
to that when we mentioned that there's 7 viewers and most of them are there to make fun of him.
Yeah, he does. That thing that you said about him getting ratio. That was funny.
We'll see that too.
Right.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah. So we got a guy by the name of Will Freeman in here. I'm the only one on the screen, so nobody can see Will Freeman. I don't know who he is. So let's hear what he has to say. First of all, Will, are you an atheist, a Christian? Who are you?
Well, I'm neither an atheist nor a Christian.
You're neither an atheist or a Christian, but you know who I am, though.
Yeah, I've known of you for a long time, back to G Plus days.
Oh, okay. All right. So how much of the video did you actually see today?
Not much.
Okay. All right. Can you prove that God doesn't exist?
That's what I want to talk to you about.
Cool.
No, I don't. I think what you're asking for is someone to prove a negative.
Oh, negatives can be proven all the time.
Like what?
I can prove that Santa Claus isn't real.
Can you?
Yes, I can.
How?
I can prove that St. Nicholas was a real historical person by looking at historical documents. But Santa Claus, as he is described, I can prove that he doesn't exist. And I wouldn't be afraid.
As he is described, perhaps. But that's what you're saying. You can prove that Santa Claus does not exist.
My
as
God, I'm
described
pressing
where-
buttons all over the spot, all over the place, and it's all the wrong buttons. So I guess the first thing I want to point out there is his and Christians need for words to not mean what words mean. So let me go back 5 seconds to see which word it is that doesn't mean what it means.
But he doesn't exist. And I wouldn't be afraid.
as he is.
Oh, prove. So in this case, we all have an idea of what the word prove means. And we don't use it generally because of the implications. And because we all agree you can't really prove things. But because they have all this objective morals and objective this, and they have no problem with words like prove and know, as we'll see later on. But I think that's where part of the big disconnect that they have is happening, is they're changing the meaning of the words. That's all it really comes down to.
Described, perhaps, but that's
Yeah. If they're aware that they're doing it, I guess. The intelligent ones, I suppose.
what you're saying. Can you prove?
Oh, I kept pausing it because I thought you were trying to comment, Will. Oh my God.
Santa Claus does not exist as.
I'll go back a bit.
I can prove that Santa Claus isn't real.
Can you?
Yes, I can.
How?
I can prove that St. Nicholas was a real historical person by looking at historical documents. But Santa Claus, as he is described, I can prove that he doesn't exist. And I wouldn't be afraid.
as he is described, perhaps, but that's what you're saying. Can you prove that Santa Claus does not exist as described where?
Based on the description that we give children. See,
Right, but where does that come from? Where
actually,
the origin point?
you can actually go.
So there's the question. Where does it come from? And his basis at the moment is it's what we tell children.
Well, it's a good admission.
Okay.
It's a good admission because that means it's subjective to each person telling their own children. He hasn't thought about it yet, but at least it's something to work with.
Yeah.
To the North Pole, we can actually look at the entire land and see that he's not there. But furthermore, we can also We can also prove that deer don't fly. We can also
No, what
we
if
can also prove
Santa
that
what if Santa Claus is just the spirit of Christmas?
hold on a minute. That's not what people say though. So listen. We can also prove, no disrespect, Jungle Dragon, but you might get a kick out of it.
I love how he laughs as like the idea of reindeer flying is so ridiculous, but talking donkeys are not ridiculous.
Yeah, or snakes,
And
or
I tried to slip in spirit of Christmas because that would be I'd be able to make more of a God analogy with that, because when he tells me that he can't prove the spirit of Christmas doesn't exist, I'm like, then how can anyone prove that this God spirit doesn't exist?
yeah,
But he didn't take that one. He didn't take
no,
that one at all. That was smart on his part to just ignore that what I said.
probably the only smart thing he did.
this. We can also prove that a fat Caucasian guy is flying around the sky going, oh, Merry Christmas.
Again, we can prove there's no fat. No,
Oh, actually, no. There will be on Christmas Eve multiple corroborating meteorologists that will say that they have sighted Santa over this area. They do it every year.
News
They do it all over.
reports.
Yep.
You fucking name it.
Yeah,
Video footage.
Pentagon is in on it, right? NORAD reports on Santa.
That's true though. I mean,
Yep.
it's so there's more evidence that you could point to that Santa's actually doing a thing, even though the thing would require him, like to visit every child in a single night, which, I mean, that's faster than the Flash.
We shouldn't
but
have
then-
issues with magic if
now that's
God's,
the thing. If he could get around to do all that, then you couldn't expect, also, if he could fit down a chimney or whatever, you couldn't expect to go from pole to pole all over the world and find him. He's far too fast to just be easily observed. And we only see him one time a year, but there obviously NORAD sees him, and meteorologists spot him, and parents all over the world leave food for him.
And even as someone who wasn't raised with Christmas, I knew that his place, wherever it is, castle, fucking whatever, was invisible. Like, you think Santa was just going to have all his shit out in the open?
It's amazing
magic,
how many
invisible,
how many times parents have had to do gymnastics to make the story fit so they can have their tradition, and how that aligns up with how Christians have to do gymnastics to make the story fit their traditions.
Yep. And even not just like the massive amount of denominations that come from Christianity, but pick a denomination like Catholics, for example, and then go to the Southeast Asia and check out their Catholicism, and it is a combination of their traditional tribal type stuff mixed in with the Mary Jesus shit. Just like if you go into Latin America, it's like that sort of whatever mysticism they had mixed in with Mary and
but
all
that
the
was
rest of it.
that was the beauty of Catholicism being the universal church, because its goal was always some sort of ecumenicism after slaughtering anyone who was unwilling to kind of own their. Look, just make your archetypes fit into our archetypes, because most religions had sort of the mother child deities, and sometimes the father mother child deity situation system. So they would, like, okay, we could make that fit. We'll try to do something with this Jesus thing. Well, and so, like, yeah, it's really versatile. But you send Protestants over there.
And
Protestants.
it's kind of like worse too. If you think about it, Christianity is nothing but stolen or integrated other fucking religions.
It's paganism.
And symbolism. And
there is nothing but paganism. They just don't call theirs paganism. They call everyone else's paganism. A prayer is nothing but a spell. It's the same goddamn thing.
Yeah. Invoking spirits.
And there's even the OTO kind of quid pro quo practice that you have to do a thing to get a thing in
Mm-hmm.
Christianity that exists in almost all pagan and Wiccan systems.
And we won't even mention blood sacrifices and so on.
Oh, human
So,
sacrifice being the plan of
we,
salvation.
yeah, from the get-go, apparently. But it's beautiful, so...
Because we have satellites and no one's ever seen that before. So I'm sorry, but so listen. We can also prove, no disrespect, Jungle Jargon, but you might get a kick out of this. We can also prove that a fat Caucasian guy isn't flying around in the sky going, oh, Merry Christmas, because we have satellites and no one's ever seen that before. So I'm sorry, but Santa Claus is not real.
I just want to point out that sorry to Jungle Jargon was because he was speaking and G-Man interrupted him quite rudely and then bulldozed and ranted for a couple of
I
minutes.
thought it was because Jungle Jargon might be a fat Caucasian guy, and he's just like, "Sorry, Jungle Jargon. No offense, Jungle Jargon."
Oh, it could be, but he did also
be.
interrupt, and so yeah, okay, because the whole interrupt thing, he brings that up himself, and so I'm gonna point it out when
he steps on Jungle Jargon whenever Jungle Jargon is making a really good point. When the conversation is actually moving forward, G-Man is like, "Let me take it down some rabbit trail that has nothing to do with the topic."
It felt like watching it. It was a part power play and part no. You're falling into Will's trap. Don't go down the script, even though that was the honest thing to do.
It's such a precarious thing when you deal with these kind of Christians, because they want to kick you out if you start to make them feel silly at all. So you it's really, even you'll see, even when I try to agree with him, when I concede something, he continues to make himself look stupid.
And I partly put it down to maybe mental health. But he is very manic. Okay, and I don't know if he is trying to wind it up so that he can kick you, but you are so calm throughout this. You do not at any point change your tone or raise your voice. But he gets so excited. So just want to point that out as well.
Now, I just proved
not as he's described. I'll agree with you that it's not as he's described. But where would the text? Where is the text? Listen, what I'm asking you. Where is the text, the official text that makes the claim that Santa Claus is real?
That's what every child in America believes. That's how Santa Claus is presented in every cartoon.
No, I understand.
Literature that we have, except for Saint Nicholas. Now, Saint Nicholas, that's something totally different.
But not every child believes the same thing about Santa Claus. Not every child believes that they're going to get coal in their stocking. Not everyone thinks that he comes down the chimney. Not everyone thinks that it depends on their tradition in that household.
May I see your tradition that proves that he doesn't come down the chimney, please? Now, we're talking about.
May I see your tradition? I have a book that I bought when Harrison was Eli and Lachlan.
The tradition is the night before Christmas, but that's what he's leaning on. By the way, that's what G-Man is leaning on. But there's other traditions. Go on with yours, but I want to point out that his specifically is the night before Christmas.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I found a book when my eldest was quite young. And thank God the timing. He's like, Santa comes down chimneys and stuff. We don't have a chimney. We never have. And this book came with this nice brass key in a plastic case. And that was Santa's key that you put on the front door. It was a magic key. And it let him up. We put it on the inside, but he would magically... be able to unlock the door with it. And that's how Santa got in. And that has been my eldest son's, and now it's Harrison's tradition. He hangs the key on the door so Santa can get in. There's no fucking... I don't think Harrison, the youngest, even understands about chimneys. It's not ever been part of his tradition or understanding of Santa Claus. So just want to.
Yeah, I want to add to that. I try to point out that people that don't have chimneys, like people that live in trailers, which I used to do, have to come up with other ways to do it. Now, I didn't really have to do this because we didn't do
Gymnastics.
Santa Claus, but yes, you would say something like, "Hey, he slides under the door. He shape
Yeah.
shifts or whatever you would do."
It's magic, so he can materialize. Or
Yeah,
any.
I mean, and
Problem. I've created a new facet to the myth that coming down the chimney is code for Santa's personal wormhole that he uses to move between the states of non-solid and solid items, so he can
that's
just move
perfect.
through walls.
That's
You know?
perfect. And DT helped with
There
that, I
you
think.
go.
It's a metaphorical chimney, not a real one.
Yes. It's better than what I was thinking because I thought it meant sex. He's
Nice.
coming up and down your chimney and in and out and leaving you a bag. A load. All right.
There is so much correlation, but we won't go down that path
Oh,
between
wait.
Santa and.
He did point out that he understands that Santa is mythologized from somebody named Saint Nicholas. So he does understand the concept of mythologizing a character, which should help him think about Jesus, but it won't because he's intellectually disabled.
Yeah. But it is kind of obvious, isn't it? Yeah.
Santa Claus, it's Nicholas now.
Yes, it's easy. It depends on their tradition in that household.
May I see your tradition that proves that he doesn't come down the chimney, please? Now we're talking about Santa Claus. Let's get Nicholas now.
Yes, it's easy. It's easy because not every house has a chimney.
Yet there are still parents out there teaching that he's going to show up and give them presents.
Right, but they don't tell. They leave the part out about the chimney because it doesn't work with the myth when they pass it on to their kids.
But the children still believe it though.
Right,
so
but they believe a version that's not an official version in your mind because there's pieces left out.
But I can still prove that Santa Claus doesn't exist. Now, getting back
based
to the
on what
topic,
though?
God, hold on a minute. But getting to the actual topic of God, you atheists walk around here. You act.
I'm not an atheist.
Well, here's the thing. Well, what are you?
I mean, I'm not sure what you're asking me.
What are you?
I don't belong to an official. I don't belong to an official religion.
Are you?
What's your positive position? What's your positive position? Who are not what you aren't? What are you?
Oh, well, I'm a theist.
Okay. What particular?
So you believe in God?
Yeah, God or gods, sure.
So which God do you believe in?
I don't know his name.
What God do you believe in?
I don't know its name.
Okay, so you just believe that a God exists.
Okay, we have to just stop and highlight some shit there for a second. So, I am not an atheist. I heard that. I also heard Gman say, so you believe a God exists. Okay. Let's go on.
How about the Creator?
The God that I'm speaking of was before anyone was around to give him a name. He had no need for a name because there would be no one to speak to about it.
Okay, great. So, but you're a theist, right? So you believe that's
also, the other point I wanted to point out was believe. He keeps saying, what do you believe? Well, what do you believe? So you believe, so you believe, so you believe, so you believe.
Being existent, right?
And you believe in a Creator. You believe in a Creator then?
Of sorts, yeah. Sure, a shaper.
A shaper. You know I don't believe a word coming out of your mouth, right? I just want to put that out there.
That's okay. I don't.
So there it is. I don't know you was the first thing he said to you when you come up, which apparently he should, you've probably interacted with him and stuff in the past, but whatever. But now, 10 minutes in, he can tell you, I don't believe a word you're saying. You're not a theist. You don't believe in God. You are an atheist.
No, he holds that. He consistently calls me an atheist all the way through and never considers what I'm saying to be an actual opinion.
And I want to point out both sides do this. It's one of the things I see DZ do that he's doing right now, and he bags out DZ, but he's doing it, is calling you a liar and saying, when people come in and say, I don't necessarily believe in Christ, but this or that, he hangs up and or kicks them, and he's like, you're fake, or you're just an atheist. And it's like, that's not how it works, dude. If they, just because they're not a Christian, he has this thing that like pantheists are just atheists, and this is just atheists, and that's kind of what Gman's doing to you. Is like, no, you're just an atheist. You know, you don't actually have any beliefs.
Yep. Believe the Bible, so we're on even ground there.
Oh, join the club, dude. Like the Muslims don't believe that don't believe in the Bible. Well, they say they don't, but you know, the Muslims say they don't believe in the Bible. New Agers say they don't believe in the Bible.
Yeah.
You got other people out there that say they don't believe in the Bible. You're not really saying anything, sir.
Right.
So,
it's all booga booga. It doesn't really matter. It's not important.
You said that you believe that a God exists. So this topic that we're talking about, where it says "come prove that God does not exist," you just admitted that you can't do that.
I didn't come here for that. I asked you about proving a negative. Is it possible
proving a
to prove a
negative is
negative? You just gave a bad example earlier of not. I mean, you didn't prove a negative. You didn't prove
According to
Santa
who?
Claus.
According to who?
According to there not being an official version of the Santa Claus story.
I truly believe that I'm human, and I'm pretty sure I was taught about Santa Claus when I was growing up.
Sure. You mentioned St. Nicholas. Why?
I brought up St. Nicholas because historically speaking, it was a St. Nicholas. As far
Are
as
you saying it's a version
of as far as oh, and by the way, since we're talking about St. Nicholas, we're also talking about the what do they call the Nickelodeons? The
Nicolaitans?
Yeah, I don't think you want to talk about that particular topic.
Sure, we can if you want to.
Origins, because then we're talking about atheist origins at that point.
I don't think atheism has an origin, does it?
Yeah, atheism does have an origin.
A doubt has an origin?
Yes, it does. Especially denialism and doubt. But going back to the Santa Claus claim, sir, you said that my description of Santa Claus is not correct because a person may not have a chimney.
Yep.
So, what do parents tell their children about Santa Claus and how he gives them presents without a chimney in their house?
Perfect question. It would vary on the parent and how they chose to explain or do the gymnastics around the myth.
No, there is no gymnastics.
What have I done? That annoyed me too, House. Chimney. Crickets. Like, it's fucking chimney. 2 fucking syllables. Chimney.
I got to remember to ask him about that.
Please axe, because that's like.
Tell him to spell it and then to sound it out and see how it goes.
I'm finna do it. I'm finna axe him.
Finna. Where's the extra E come from?
I don't know. You just got to keep it 100.
I'm finna fuck him up 100%.
It is. Yes, it is. Rather than tell the truth and say, well, in the story he comes through the chimney, but since we don't have a chimney, we're going to omit that and have our own version of Santa Claus, where he comes underneath the door, he just slides under.
Right.
But and that's perfectly fine for the child.
The point is that you have parents that have children that tell their children that Santa Claus is coming to town and is going to give them presents.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So he's just doing that age-old, we have 1 billion, trillion, zillion denominations and 8 billion so 2 billion different types of Christianity, because that's how many Christians there are. But the thing is, at least we all believe in Christ. So even if everything else disagrees, like, even if that's not his argument, that is his argument that he's accidentally making. And it's just the fact that it's like everyone agrees on Christ. Dude, I think he existed. But how the fuck does that make Christianity real?
Right. So a guy got he got crucified by the Romans. Thousands of people were crucified by the Romans. That's not special.
Doesn't sound like much of a god. Just saying.
So, and again, every popular Every popular and non-popular person who talks about Santa Claus actually talks about him in that way. Now, how he gets there without us,
Every popular and non-popular person talks about Santa in whatever way I just said. Okay. Cool.
So is that kind of
without
a
chimney,
bandwagon
you're right.
sort
It
of an
depends on.
argument, or not?
It
There's an argument for
would be if there was any
consensus.
Yeah, if there's any legitimacy to it, even, but it just pure fucking nonsense. He
Again,
doesn't
like Halsey
know
said,
this
I
or
mean,
have any statistics.
the
He's just
government,
talking shit.
the government corroborates the story on a yearly basis,
Yeah.
right? So there's far more reason to believe that Santa is real rather than Jesus. I have never heard meteorologists say that Jesus was swinging through. You know, he's gonna drop by.
And I guess that the point I'm missing is he's actually making his our case for us, because he's saying, yeah, forget all the details about Santa, but everyone agrees Santa exists. And that was your point. You're like,
we don't need an
that's the
official
point you're
story.
making. Yeah.
We'll just argue forever over our subjective traditions and our denominations, and never worry about what the original, if there's any truth to the original claim.
Yeah. Who's
And
Saint
with
Nick
all that
was,
belief powering things, it's got to be real, right? How can it not be real if all those people believe in it?
Exactly. It's because so many people believe in it. How can you go against it and not feel a little silly?
Yeah, they're bringing it. I mean, and also, you know, that belief is energy. It brings it to life. The last person that will believe that dies, that thing that they believed in will also die. You know.
That's right.
Yeah. And the only way that real, like, from majority argument would even be legitimate is there are 8 billion people. There is no religion that takes up more than 50% of that number. So there's a religion that's maybe the largest, like Christianity still might have 2 billion and Muslims are like 1.8 or whatever. But neither of those, because pick one of those, say Catholics, that's 2 billion. There are still 6 billion who don't believe in Christianity. Sorry, not Catholicism, Christianity. So the majority still disagrees with that. The majority still disagree with Islam. The majority still disagree with. So I'm kind of still with the majority, you know, in my mind, relative to each religion. And that's what they don't understand. They're all taking that biased position, where that presuppositional position that theirs is the one. They can't compare it. They won't, you know, look at other views and stuff. It's
locked in the web.
Very, very locked in. Yeah.
On the parent or whatever. But it
Now,
doesn't
the
change.
news media and the meteorology.
Hold on a minute. I'm talking. Just give me a second here. It doesn't change the fact that parents are teaching their children that Santa Claus is coming to town. It doesn't change that fact.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't change the fact that they're telling their children that Santa Claus are going to give them gifts. And based on their description, I can prove the negative that Santa Claus doesn't exist. Now, since you are claiming to be a theist, okay, which I don't believe you. I believe you.
Okay, so now that's twice. I can prove he doesn't exist. Let's see if it ever actually occurs.
He is playing games, but let's just say hypothetically speaking that that you are. If you was an atheist, how would you go about proving that God does not exist?
Sorry to pause so much, but I'm not an atheist. I'm not an atheist. I'm not an atheist, and I don't think you can prove God doesn't exist. Okay, if you were an atheist, how would you prove God doesn't exist? I'm sorry to use the R word, but this dude is fucking R-worded.
He's a motard ballerina.
It's beautiful. Like, it's beautifully Oh, look at that face. I'm gonna
He
screenshot
he
that.
engages
Hang on,
in
screenshot.
forehead wrestling.
Fucking that smile. I'm gonna steal that.
I imagine his brain is as smooth as a bowling ball. No wrinkles. Wrinkles are on his face.
Oh fuck yeah. Black don't crack.
Possible to truly prove a negative, so there would be no way to prove that God doesn't exist.
Then why does
You
Deconstruction say? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jungle Jargon. I apologize.
you could falsify God.
How would you do that?
Show us matter and energy making and directing themselves. Then you don't need God.
Matter and energy directing themselves is the proof that God doesn't exist.
Wait, I think he says creating and directing itself.
Yeah. What did I say?
No, oh, you
I
just
thought I
didn't say
said
the
that.
creating part. You just said directing
I
itself.
might have said making, actually.
Oh, maybe you did.
I mean,
maybe
do
you
we
did.
witness God doing those things? Because to me, it seems like we're seeing the thing that He's requiring all over the place. We're seeing
Yeah.
we're seeing matter creating and directing itself. We don't witness the creation process, you know.
Yeah. I guess technically the only human, and this is the thing we'll never know, Adam, no, he slept. See, even Adam, who could have been a witness and said, yeah, man, fucking God reached down and ripped the fucking rib out of the side of me and then started building a woman out of it. Like, geez, man, you should have seen it. No, he slept, conveniently slept.
He just
That was
woke up and there was some fresh snatch there for him.
God's
Yeah.
anesthesia, I guess, right?
Yeah, God.
I wonder if God like mentioned anything, be like, all right, look, Adam, seriously, stop fucking the animals. I know you're partial to the camel, but this one I made just for you.
And that sheep seems to
No.
like you a lot.
Think
And I
about
made your
it.
dick a little smaller so you'd stop tearing up the
It was
monkeys.
the other way around, Will. Poor Adam was like, Yahweh, I can't keep fucking the animals. Like, you made two of everything except me. Like, ah!
That's from this stream, isn't it?
It might have been, yeah.
He's dressed the same in your picture as he is
Yeah.
in the
Yep.
only simpletons believe everything they're told. That is the Christian motto. It should be.
Yeah.
Instead of being a proverb warning them, you know? That's basically what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. It's a commandment.
It's almost indicative that to be a Christian, you must be a simpleton.
Oh, what happened? Did I do that?
Well, you took
That
or
was
she
the
probably
share.
took-
That was just the picture that I was sharing.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, sorry.
Message is a
Oh, I
declaration.
couldn't tell the difference. That's beautiful house.
Yep. Same
Which
stream.
one's the one? Okay, I think that's it. Yep.
Is there a way to study that?
It's physics.
I'm not there.
Making and directing themselves. Then you don't need God.
Oh, that's something to point at too. Let's watch this. These two Christians not have any clue about physics or science, and at some point, Gman is like, "Look, let's go back to science." He derails a really good point and goes, "Let's go back to science," and then you go, hang on, that's faith. That's not science. He goes, yeah, I left science because I won't talk to you about science. Like, what?
I don't even remember. You'll have to refresh my memory. It was all
Oh,
sort of a
you'll
blur.
see it. It's coming. It's so beautiful. Like, fuck. This guy's a gift that just keeps giving.
Is there a way to study that?
It's physics.
I'm not.
The laws.
If you can, yeah, go ahead.
The laws of physics require that energy and matter cannot make or direct themselves.
What would that have to do with God? God didn't make or direct himself, right?
No, but I'm saying if you had magical matter, then you wouldn't need God.
Magical matter. Now that's an interesting term. Why would you move that into play?
Because if energy can make and direct itself, you're talking about magic and you're talking about idolatry. You're talking about a false
Mm,
belief.
I see.
That's
Well,
a
I don't.
false
I don't think.
belief.
I don't hold those beliefs. I don't think that energy creates itself. I don't. I think that energy has always been. It's a state of affairs that has always been and will always be.
Well, you're still wrong because energy is going from order to disorder.
That's not. That doesn't change the fact that the energy still exists. The order might change. The
Well, it's
the
no, but
assembly might change.
if it goes all, if the universe dies a cold death,
Mhm.
that means there's no more energy.
No, it means there's no more heat.
Yeah, well, the energy, yeah.
There's lots of different types of energy. You can.
No, sorry. I know everyone here watching and everyone on the panel understands how dumb that was.
Can we hear it one more time, just because of how
Yeah,
confident he sounded when he said?
like, oh my god, what happened? The American schooling system, the world schooling system. I know there
Oh
are
yeah,
countries out there that are awesome, but the West has really failed.
the
There's
fact
no
that the
child
energy
left
still
behind.
exists. The order might change.
Yeah, no child not fucking.
Yeah, they graduated Gman without any like tests or anything. They just let him out into the public. He votes, and drives.
If I give Jill the benefit of the doubt, he's a fucking teacher. He's
Yeah, but
come
that's
from,
DEI. We've fixed that this year, so they can't do that again.
Oh, fuck. Did I get back far enough?
It's always been and will always be.
Well, you're still wrong because energy is going from order to disorder.
That doesn't change the fact that the energy still exists. The order might change.
Well, it's
The
no, but
assembly might change.
if it goes all, if the universe dies a cold death, that means there's no more energy.
No, it means there's no more heat.
Yeah, well, the energy, yeah.
There's lots of different types of energy. You believe in a spiritual energy, I'm sure.
So, you know, Hawkins radiation, um, the shit's still there. It is just so spread apart that it is functionally useless. It
Well,
doesn't
hold on.
go anywhere. Even
Like
in the heat death,
they
it's
they
still
admit
there.
they admit that the universe is expanding. So there's some
Yeah,
kinetic energy or something is pushing it outward somehow. Even if it was cold and there was a heat death, that wouldn't change that there's still some energy of some sort pushing out
yeah,
in the expansion process, whatever that energy is. And the idea, and they keep bringing, it's going to come up, I remember, about the Big Bang, the singularity. But like that's a theory, and I don't necessarily subscribe to a single. Like, what if that's just a cycle, and we're just around for this one? The Big
yeah.
Bang, and then a collapse, and then another bang, and then a collapse, like a breathing of the universe. Like I don't know, but he wants to pin me down. Ooh, Spooky's out there. Maybe Spooky will come in and sing a Christmas song because I love it when he does.
What's he say here? Dawn is breaking. Oh, nice.
Well, it's spiritual is unrelated to the physical world
How can you prove that?
because it's not physical.
Do
Spiritual is not
do we not have
physical.
spirits as
It's
human beings?
supernatural.
Do human beings have
Yeah,
spirits?
you do have a spirit, and
Are we
that's
on this world?
supernatural. That it's a supernatural thing for
I
you to
why would a
direct and
suit
order yourself
why would it be supernatural to have a spirit?
because you're directing and ordering yourself. You're making decisions as a mini god
I don't
in
know about that.
within.
Making decisions and directing yourself is a mini god.
That's idolatry, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
If you're not
polite of
supposed to
you.
make your own decisions or direct yourself, how are you supposed to live your life? Are you just supposed to wait around to see if
No,
God
the
does it
law.
for you, or
The law.
Well, It sounds worse than that to me. It sounds like we're robots. We have no fucking choice. It
Well,
has to be
if
this
God is
way or
omniscient,
nothing.
if God is omniscient, that is and omnipotent at the same time, then that is the end result. That everything is predetermined. It can't be
Yeah.
another way.
He made me do this shit.
Yeah, it would have to be if he's omnipotent and omniscient, then everything is precisely as it should be.
Yeah.
Always precisely as it should be. So, yeah, I don't know that I would subscribe to that.
Which is why, technically, in my simple understanding, all Christians who believe in the omnis are Calvinist by default without even understanding.
Yes. Yes, because
Yeah.
they never think about what those omnis mean, especially the omnipresent, because if he's omnipresent, there's no sin that he's not involved in directly because he's in
Yeah.
every part of every molecule in every
Involved
center. So he is
in
he
the
is
sin,
100% involved in the act of sin.
in the sin, in the sinner, and the punishment. He is also present in hell.
He's present everywhere, including the murder weapon, the floor they're standing on, the crime scene, the state that it happens in, the or country or what. Like he is legitimately everything, meaning that there's only one thing, which is him. So
Yeah,
it's just different shapes of God.
of
Everything is just
him.
different shapes of God, and that goes to pantheism, and that's where I try to take these boys.
I'd like to hear a Christian say, yeah, God's omnipresent. He's literally walking beside Satan. He's there holding Satan's
He
hand.
would be
No matter what
Satan.
Satan does,
No, no, he would
he's
be
there.
Satan.
Yeah.
He would have to be Satan as
Well,
well.
yeah.
If he is omnipresent and he is everything, he is in every bit of whatever Satan is. There's just nothing that isn't him if he's omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. All if it's like I think there's four omnis, but anyway.
Uh, omniscient,
Omnibenevolent, but not all Christians will.
benevolent.
They
Yeah.
won't go with omnibenevolent because they've read the Bible and realize that he's evil.
Yeah. They'll say um, without omnibenevolent, without interfering in our free will, except the times when God interferes in our free will. But he's God,
Yes,
so he's allowed to. So okay.
You're making decisions as a mini God
I don't
in
know about that.
within your limitations. Within your limitations, you're a mini God
I
by
don't
the
know
You're a
that.
mini
I
power
don't know that
God,
I can
Will.
accept that.
by the powers that God have given. Oh, so you can't, you don't have no powers?
And these humble Christians here, you're a mini God. And Will's like, I don't know about that, but
Well, I'm trying to get him to the point to realize that I'm not a mini
you're
anything.
fully God.
I am fully God, just like they are, just like everything is. We are God. You know, we are
Yeah.
the consciousness in the universe. So,
Yeah.
you know, and that's just an idea I want to put in their heads. I don't know if
I,
that's
I
all
understood
true,
that.
but
It was
they're not going to get it.
nah, and it was just fascinating to hear a Christian try and speak other gods into existence rather than vehemently defend there is only one God. He was like, no, there's infinite fucking gods, basically, as
I
Will
think they have
said.
like one Bible verse or two that calls humans gods, and they're all giddy at the idea they're lowercase g gods.
Yeah, well, as we'll see, your lighter is God too, so
I mean, we almost became
No, I
God.
don't.
God hadn't disrupted the Tower of Babel process. You know,
you're right. Oh no, that was the second disruption. We nearly become God in the Garden of Eden.
true. Yeah.
Apparently, we just had to get that second fruit. We were there. The bastard took it away.
That's a good point.
So twice he's thwarted us, and we nearly thwarted Yahweh twice. Like what?
So God is holding us back, in other words. He's crippling us.
It seems that way. Seems he doesn't want us to get somewhere.
I don't have the powers of a mini God.
No,
You know,
you are. You are. If you have power, you are a power.
Yeah, I that's fine. You just mentioned mini God, and I wouldn't say that I'm a
Well,
mini
that's the
version of
definition.
anything.
You have power. You are power.
That's the definition of a god. A god is something with power.
Maybe we can find some common ground. If I propose that there is a God that was the beginning source, maybe the beginning mind and the source of all energy and matter, would you
Yeah,
agree?
yeah.
And before that, there was nothing at all, nothing except the God and existence.
Except the god, the source of all power,
Right, in
Special.
the state of
creator.
existence that is part of who he would be naturally. For him to exist, existence would be the. I invoke special.
Yeah,
They
that's
had
a
to do it. If I mention existence and God, their brains explode. Sir proved that with his chart. I will never not use that with these kind of fuckers.
yeah.
Just slip existence in. Just put that in there as though God is in some way depending on existing to do things. Since it makes
Yeah.
sense that he would need to exist to do anything.
And
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
oh no, you're. I was going to say that argument also points out the intelligence level of these people. Okay, because the majority, and I think it happened in this case, they cannot comprehend the difference between the word existence and the word universe. They, to these people, they're the same thing. There's no, you might as well just use one of those words for both. They can't understand when you say universe, existence, something existing, that you're not referring to a physical universe. And this other guy that was actually half decent, he couldn't understand that in any way, shape, or form. And I've never seen a Christian that does understand it. They not. It's one of their cognitive dissonances. They have to put that wall up.
Right, because existence requires a universe or space to exist in their mind, because they think in forms of matter, even though that they spend most of their time talking about the meta.
Spiritual,
But if
yeah.
God is a spirit, then it would still need to exist. It doesn't necessarily need space. It will need time and space to do anything, to be
Yeah.
effective in any way. So time, it has to exist in time. There's no putting it outside of time. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
No, nothing
Well,
happens outside of time.
you if you're intelligent enough and they're intelligent enough, you can actually make an argument that he's outside of time, but you cannot make an argument that he's outside of existence.
You could make the argument that he can maneuver around within time, but you can't
Well, he
put
can't do anything. I'm just saying he can exist out of time, but he can't do anything.
when would he exist outside of time?
Just it's it's like it's just we. It's like we just don't have the words.
It's
For
not fair
me,
because I've
and
heard this argument before, and the answer to it is what I just asked you. It will always be the answer to that is the question: when would anything exist outside of time? When?
yeah,
Because
well,
existence
it's like
requires a time period of this between this and this, or eternally, or whatever. There's
well,
a existence is measured like because events happen in existence, right? So even with God, this God
yeah, I
thing,
get yeah. On an infinite timeline, there is always a finite period between two events, so you can always measure it.
Right. So if someone says, when did something
But
exist outside of time, there has to be a time when it got, if God was ever outside of time, then he was
he was in
never
a
in
different
time.
time.
He was never
Yeah.
in time. He was never here. He
Well,
was
he
never.
had to be in special time.
That's exactly what I'm getting to.
Yeah. Okay. I
That's
got
why
it.
we just did the whole thing with existence, with just adding one element. I
Yeah.
was hoping that they would add outside of time too, but they didn't elaborate on special.
Yeah. Got it.
State of affairs. He would
Uh,
accept the God and existence.
except the God, the source of all power,
Right, and
the
the state of
creator.
existence that is part of who he would be naturally. For him to exist, existence would be the state of affairs.
Well, he's the creator is our God. The creator is the Christian God that we believe in. We believe in the creator as
Right, but
God.
that's not what I'm asking, jargon. I'm trying to find common ground. You jump to the magic book, and I'm not there yet. I'm just
No,
trying to say
it's not a magic book because you can't have an infinite regress of greater and greater powers.
I never proposed that at all. What I
By the way,
proposed that
only
there was
atheists call the Bible a magic book. I just want to let you
no,
know
no, no.
that.
He used supernatural terms earlier, and I don't think there's anything that's supernatural. I think everything
Wait a
that
minute, you
is
don't believe there's
here.
anything that's
So
supernatural?
you just
No,
said that
because
you're a spirit
supernatural
and
is a
that's
distinction.
supernatural.
You said supernatural. I asked you why you chose supernatural. I think everything is natural since everything
Well,
is
if
terrestrial from the
a
God.
spirit,
If you'd let me finish, what I'm saying is if everything comes from the God and the God was the only thing in existence. Okay, and we agreed on that a moment ago, right?
Your
That
God
there
we're
was
talking about.
obviously, yeah. But
okay, so
you just said the energy was around forever.
God has got is God not eternal?
I
Was
don't
there a
know.
time when
Yeah,
God had no energy?
God is eternal, but not the physical universe.
I
Wasn't
didn't mention the physical
eternal?
universe. If
Well,
there's a
the
time when God has no power or energy, then he's impotent. And there was
the
never a time when God was
physical,
impotent.
but the physical universe is made of energy.
Yes, yes, but that is a shaping of energy. We're talking about a time before there was a physical universe. We just talked about God and the original source of things. So there was nothing but the God at one point. And God is spirit, if you believe the scriptures.
So, so you believe in God, you just need some a greater understanding about the Creator.
Well, we all need greater understanding about the Creator.
Hey, Jungle Jargon, let me show him something real quick. Well, I'd like to educate you about something here real quick.
Can you
Not
do it
that I'm
without being condescending?
well, no. Just hear me out a minute.
Can,
Let me
okay.
make my claim first, and then you can tell me I'm being condescending. That's what
No,
you're
no.
supposed
I asked if you could make the claim without being
No, no, I'm
condescending
not
in the
being
process.
condescending. I would like to show you something here quick.
Sure,
Because you
sure.
came
I'm
in this room and you said, and I quote, that you can't prove a negative. Now,
right.
my experience has taught me here on social media that when a popular atheist says something, they run with it as if it's actually true. But I would like to actually show you something here. Because
Okay,
it
show me.
literally took me 4 seconds to find this. Okay. I'm
Okay,
going to
go
show you
ahead.
something quick, okay? And if you are a theist, I strongly recommend you stop listening to those morons who happen to be atheists on the internet. Take a look at this.
Okay.
Negatives can be proven through evidence of absence in
Condescension.
well-defined spaces or through logical proof by contradiction, which demonstrates that the positive claim leads to an impossible contradiction, while proving the non-existence of something in an infinite or undefined space can be difficult. It is possible to prove specific negative claims by showing there is no evidence of the event's occurrence where there should.
Do you want me to pause? Or just
Well, I
let
was
him
gonna,
keep condescending to you?
I was gonna point out that he was condescending, but the rest of that, you know,
Fuck if he was.
the metrics that he's talking about as he's reading it, he's not even comprehending that none of those can be applied to his spirit being that he's proposing God that he wants atheists to come on and disprove. So there's
Yep.
no specifics or metrics that we can use to weigh this spirit or measure this spirit thing he's talking about. So he's proving maybe that yes, you can prove a negative, but you can't prove a negative when it comes to God because we can't measure the booga booga. But he doesn't.
Exactly.
So he's not gonna catch on to that at all.
Nope. And when you try and say, let's like dig into that, he fucking runs a million miles an hour. For example, some of the ways you can prove a negative, okay? And again, I'm kind of still of the mind you can't. I know his AI overview there says there's ways you can, but when you read the requirements, it just doesn't happen. For instance, through evidence of absence in well-defined spaces.
Right. That right there those are the metrics that I'm talking about that he cannot
Yep.
provide.
Or through logical proof by contradiction. Well, he won't even touch that because his
If
shit
we
is
asked
logically contradictory. So
if we asked him where God dwelt, would he be able to tell me where God dwelt? Because the Bible would suggest the
nope,
third heaven or the heavens, just above the firmament.
he
So,
he wouldn't. Just like if you asked him, "Where's your or what is your spirit?" Or
right.
how is
So
it
the
not linked to your
well-defined,
physical body?
right. So the well-defined places or locations or whatever those parameters that you were just reading, and that he was just reading. I mean, like
Yep.
that's impossible with what he's proposing. He's reading exactly why the his title stream is silly because none of that applies to God.
No. And if anything, I believe I can prove through logical proof by contradiction that his Yahweh, Bible God, does not exist. I could do that if he'd have
I think you
let you
could.
do it, and you would have. But he ran a million miles an hour. All he was interested in was the fact that he actually proved you wrong. You misspoke. You said you can't prove the negative, which again, show me what instances these occur in. It's so defined and so rare. It's like,
Hello to Q, by the way. I see Q's out there. I hadn't seen him
it,
in a while. And spooky. Well-defined spaces,
so
and
I would
that's to
expect
prove evidence of absence. So,
absence.
and that's what
Exactly.
he's asking for. He's asking for that in his title stream, evidence of absence. And so, what he would need, based on this description, is well-defined spaces. So, he would need
Yeah.
to answer the question from the Bible where God could be found in order to prove that he's there or not there.
Yep.
Schrodinger's God.
And they'll admit, especially through omnipresence, that he's literally just everywhere.
Oh, I wonder if you can use Schrodinger's cat and God God is both dead and alive until we find out the truth. I'm sorry, that was a little abstract.
Yeah, no, that's a great question.
We'll dig into that later, maybe.
D, or by showing showing it cannot exist. Now, can you please educate me, sir, on how a person cannot prove a negative? Because
No,
I'm
no, 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 no,
yes,
no.
sir.
You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Despite the condescension, you are correct, and I stand corrected. There is a
Admission one.
way that you've demonstrated that the negative can be proven. Now, can you apply those metrics to measure that to the idea of a God
After
who is
you
spirit?
admit,
So, what have I done?
Oh, it's still going. This is where he's demanding that
Did
I
I
admit
mute something?
you. Yeah,
I muted the stream. Yeah. Okay, I'll go back.
you fix it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, go on. What you're saying?
No, it was still going, and I'm saying this is the part where I just admitted the thing, and now he's gonna demand that I admit that
Admit the
yeah,
thing.
again, I was like, God damn.
Can you please educate me, sir, on how a person cannot prove a negative? Because
No,
I'm
no, no, no,
Yes,
no, no.
sir.
You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Despite the condescension, you are correct, and I stand corrected. There is a way that you've demonstrated that the negative can be proven. Now, can you apply those metrics to measure that to the idea of a God who is spirit?
After you
I
admit,
just admitted. You heard me admit.
after you admit that a
Yes.
negative can be proven.
Did you not hear me just do that?
Oh, so okay, so you did prove.
Yes,
so
I just said that.
Wait a minute, hold on a minute. So you
Back
did,
Admission too.
Now he says
Yeah.
he understood
negative
that.
can be proven.
Yes, back it up. He seems to. He's like, oh, so you did? Yeah, I did. I fucking did. And then I did it again just then when I admitted that I did.
Yep.
So we have confirmation that I did admit it, and now he's what the fuck?
And he's about to seek it a third time just to be sure.
But he doesn't want to answer my question about metrics. The thing about the metrics, he doesn't want to talk about that shit.
Don't compare my God to the thing that I just brought up.
Sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Can we move?
So
I just
be proven.
What a condescending thing. I'll give you a round of applause. Well, good on you, G-Man, because you're never going to get one, my friend.
Did you not hear me just do that?
Oh, so okay, so you did prove.
Yes, I just said that.
Wait a minute, hold on a minute.
That's three.
So you
back it up.
Negative can be proven.
Yes, back it up.
A round of applause, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Can we move forward now? Did you hear the rest of what I said, or did you get hung up?
No.
See that dismissive laugh? I've literally just conceded that you did the thing I'm saying you're not doing, but I'm going to pretend and laugh like you didn't do it.
And that was my window right there to compare the metrics to what he just had up while it was fresh in his little low capacity brain. But he's going to move away from that, and it'll be impossible for me to get him. Yeah, because he's busy talking about how he's going to hold that against me forever. Like, okay, so I admitted that I was wrong about something, and now it's your intention to hold that over my head forever. That makes it. Why would I ever? Why would I ever admit something like that again? Why would I ever concede?
Like, how childish is it? That's a Jill thing to do. It's like, oh, okay, you were right for the first time that I've ever known you, and they're like, yeah, and I'm gonna remind you every day of your existence until fucking.
I think we're looking at the missing link. I think this is the.
I think you're insulting the missing link, but
this is the link that fills in the gaps that we've been looking for.
This is far below that.
We need to study this thing.
I'm just saying, this is.
Can we do some experiments with him? Involving trying to get him to do things for pizza. I heard he fucked Shani, which means he's got. Something's wrong with him.
Is that why he has that obsession with her?
Oh, he lives in their house. He bought their house for $1.
Oh, that's all he talks about.
There's randomly, a lot there.
He'll be talking about God, and he'll be like, just like Shani, I'm gonna fucking destroy them. What the fuck?
I think I admire that he was able to keep an erection in front of a naked.
Find the hole.
Sorry. I think the smell probably got him.
Oh God.
I'm done. I'm sorry.
The yeast.
He just followed the biscuits. Push play. Okay, so I'll restate it. I'll restate it.
I already demonstrated that. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, I'll restate it. Can I restate it?
I already demonstrated that.
Yeah.
Santa Claus. Hold on a minute. I already demonstrated that when I.
You didn't hear me out. You're still talking past me.
Well. Only one person can talk at a time. Let me finish, and then you can talk. I promise. Me and Joe.
Talking past means not listening and talking about something I'm not saying.
He needs
one person can talk at a time.
he needs to get away from that thing that he just had up that he got from AI, because it's still fresh in his mind that can be used against him. You know, that's one of those things that he can't. I'm sure as he's reading it out loud, you know, it took a little while. Like everyone else got it, and then it dawned on him that when he's asking me
the
about this
defensive.
metrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna keep pushing. He's gonna keep pushing to get away from that.
And trying to get ahead of the conversation. That's what he thinks he's doing. He thinks he knows where you're going. You know. So he'll cut this other guy off.
What jargon has allowed you to go on and on and on and on and on. Let me just say what I got.
Me and jargon have allowed you to go on and on and on and on and on. Can I just say you have barely spoken? It's all been him so far. And that he has cut you off so many times, I forgot to keep count. And fuck, he has no self-awareness, this dude.
I have to say, and I'll let you talk. It's not difficult, okay? We have rules on this YouTube channel, and you're about to be reminded about them if you know anything about me.
All right, Daddy.
So let's do this again here, all right? So again, I already demonstrated that regarding Santa Claus, okay? I took the claim, and I...
So, remember I said,
not.
okay, that's the claim, and we're waiting for the proof? Yeah, it never happened.
Exactly. He's already taken a victory lap on that one, but we were never able to get to the original story about Santa Claus and whether, you know, it could be, we could prove the evidence of absence, you know, through defined parameters.
He didn't want to touch it.
No, but he's going to claim that he's already demonstrated that he could disprove Santa, you know, existing. So now it's your turn, atheist.
So why the claim can't be true. That's what I did. Now, the reason why you atheists don't like coming in here proving...
I'm not an atheist. Don't be a liar.
Okay, you said that you was a theist, but I'm sorry. The evidence shows me something else.
Then he look like he wants a pudding pop right now and to spike some unaware woman's drink.
Yes.
Yeah, he looks a little Cosby-ish. Oh.
Fuck, he's so dishonest, but...
I did. Now, the reason why you atheists don't like coming in here proving...
I'm not an atheist. Don't be a liar.
Okay, you said that you was a theist, but I'm sorry. The evidence shows me something else.
You haven't seen any evidence either way yet.
Yes, my evidence shows me that you argue like an atheist.
That's not an insult.
Well, like I said, you argue like an atheist.
Thank you.
What I'm basically saying is this. I looked at what you said and I showed you why. I'm sorry. I looked at the popular claim about Santa Claus and I showed that it was wrong. Now, you...
No, again, you didn't.
Not at all. We didn't get into it because he would never even announce that he was relying on The Night Before Christmas as his source, which I was going to point out as a poem based on myths. Yeah.
Yeah. And just the vague fact that Santa is coming to town.
He's probably got jingling bells on his sleigh as they're dashing through the snow. You see what I mean? Prophecy.
Do parents not tell their children he's coming to town, Will?
He's stuffing his load up their chimneys while they sleep. He's got a magical ho-ho bag.
Your burden. Yesterday, when I did my stream
you just won't let me talk.
Yesterday, when I did my stream yesterday, I said that Christians meet their burden and atheists don't. Okay? Why don't you man up and just say that you're an atheist and actually try to prove that God doesn't exist? Because if you are a theist, you just disproved your own position.
Oh, is it my turn? Is it? Can you confirm that it is my turn to speak?
I know jungle jargon. I know.
They think they're
He'll figure it out. Go
so
ahead.
funny right now.
Go ahead and what?
He has been so rude. He has talked over you multiple times. He's derailed the other guy. And multiple times you've tried to respond now while he's talking. He wouldn't let you. And so, as anyone with half a brain at this point would go, oh, now I can talk? And he wants to be smart and just go silent. I'm glad you pushed this point. And he laughs like it's some sort of win, but fuck, he looks stupid.
Is it my turn to speak yet?
Okay, so you got about 45 seconds to finish your statement. So far, you haven't said nothing. Hurry up.
I have already conceded that you can prove a negative. Now,
Fourth concession.
is that what you needed to hear so I can finish what I was saying?
Okay, so since you conceded that,
May I continue?
Go ahead and finish what you had to say.
Thank
and
you.
then
Thank
I
you.
want you to try to prove, like you just
I'm going to let you finish, but now I'm just going to keep talking.
Low
did with
capacity.
jungle jargon.
Let me finish, please. You just
I would like for you to do like what you just tried to do with jungle jargon and try to prove that God does not exist.
Did you try to prove that God does not exist? Well,
no, it was just trying to prove that you can't prove that negative about God because we don't have any way to check, to weigh the metrics of a spirit.
that's what I thought. So, are we special or is someone else special?
Okay, thank you.
Look at the pride of
like
him.
what you just tried to do with jungle jargon and try to prove that God does not exist. Okay, thank you.
I'm not sure actually how many times you've said I'm not here to prove God doesn't exist. I'm here to say your question is dumb.
Right. If I was an atheist, I would be, destroying my own. No, what would it be? I don't really know where he's going.
he
that I
said-
was defeating my
he
own argument
said
because my argument.
you must be an atheist because you're proving your own argument. That was his Yeah,
I don't
you're
even know what that
arguing-
means. I mean, I know what it means when I hear it, but I don't know how he's using that against me. I must have misunderstood him, but it's not important to understand him because he's basically just, making grunts and
Well, they're
squeaks.
kind of ad homs. Like, he also said you argue like an atheist, so I'm just going to assume you're an atheist.
When I hear a Christian
call you a liar.
When I hear a Christian say that, that means they're frustrated because they can't. Those arguments don't work for them. They can't work their way around it. The atheist doesn't allow you to use the Bible, and that's when So I think that because I'm not just eating the Bible paradigm and spitting my answers back through it, they're frustrated, and that's arguing like an atheist.
You're spot on, and actually, it's coming up. You actually get back to the point that you believe in God, like, because at this point, no matter how, I think we're up to 4. No, that was just 4 admissions about the stupid thing that was irrelevant because he didn't even compare his God to those factors. But I'm not sure how many times you've told him you're not an atheist at this point. But he still believes you are. And eventually you will get into a conversation about you do believe in God. There's a source of all things and so on. And do listening to that, and I know you kind of do it purposefully, it's very clever. The way you describe source is exactly the way they describe their Yahweh. And so
if they argue with that, they're arguing
exactly
against their God.
I'm like, there's nothing to argue, but then they argue against it.
That's what I love.
Me away.
That's what I love to do is because all the things that I propose agree with their version of the omni source.
Yeah.
And so if they try to argue with that, what they have to do is connect it to the Bible, to Yahweh. But I just propose a few properties, and because I don't believe in the Bible, they try to defeat the properties of Yahweh.
Yeah. And there's also something very broken about when someone actually agrees with you, turning around and having a problem with it.
Well, they're not using the opportunity to bring me to their way of thinking, even though I'm right
Exactly.
there.
Yeah.
And instead they're going to
Exactly.
defeat every bit of progress they could build on.
Yep. Yep. It's like, oh, I actually made my point and you're agreeing. Well, then I'm going to trample that down because how dare you think what I think or something.
Well,
I
he's
can't
already stuck in his web because he's created the idea and put the straw man forward that I'm an atheist. He's asked me to step into the atheist role multiple times now and refuses, no matter how much I say that I believe in a source being, a source consciousness or whatever. He's going to keep trying to paint me with this brush that I'm an atheist.
Yeah, put you in that box. And you're spot on because we'll see also when they hear the word pantheist, oh my God, they start playing with themselves and having little gasms and shit because they think
said
like,
it.
Yeah. They think, oh, there's the box. We got the box. We can put him in. He's a dirty pantheist. It's like they just did everything they could to make sure you were not one of them.
Hold on. In their minds, they have to be agreeing that what I'm proposing lines up with Yahweh. They're there, and then when one of them proposes pantheist, they try to erase it. They try to backpedal and figure out how to undo all the pantheistic statements they've already made. Especially when I ask them what the source of all things were, if there was only one source of all things. Like what is the material? What is the substance? If that was all that was in existence.
And as an observer, someone just watching, I cannot sorry, that's the wrong word. I cannot see a difference.
Distinguish, yeah.
Distinguish. There you go. Sorry, I don't know why my brain farted there. Between your description and their description, I'm like word for fucking word, and they agree with you all the way along, like you said, until pantheist, and then no, our God's not pantheist, but you think he's omni everything.
Yeah, you can't have
you
it
literally
both ways.
do think he's pantheist, like you are pantheist. You just don't understand you are. Fascinating.
What are the metrics necessary to require or to measure a spirit?
There's you trying to bring the metrics back into.
The spirit is not physical.
Science.
It doesn't have physical measurements.
Well,
Hang on, so that old mate said no physical measurements. What was this dude? What the fuck did he say?
Wait! Before you push play, Jargon just gave the reason that shit that Gman pulled up from AI would make their God not approvable, or let's see, a disprovable negative. Let's see, yeah.
Yep.
Proven negative or provable negative. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. A provable negative. What are the metrics necessary to require or to measure a spirit?
The spirit is not physical.
Science.
It doesn't have physical measurements.
Well, I mean, I heard science come out. Is there a science that we have?
So, and let's
Homie,
just point out, I think
Homie said math and science could prove spirit. I heard that. Did you hear it?
I thought he just went meh, but he might have said math.
Yeah, okay, I think. Yeah, go back and listen, because he blurts out science, and then he then adds to the claim by saying math. So both of these things are now claims. How we're going to prove spirit exists using math. Now we have factors we have to fill in to figure out math, and then science. What are we testing with science here? So let's see if
they end up disagreeing with each other too.
Okay. to require or to measure a spirit?
The spirit is not
Math.
physical.
Science.
It doesn't have
Science.
physical measurement.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I heard science come out. Is there a science
Math
that
and
we
science.
have?
Let's have some fun. Math and science. And
No,
Is
faith.
there
science.
math?
Faith. And faith.
Science has to do with
And what was this again? To prove a spirit, wasn't it?
Yes, to the metrics of a spirit, to be able to measure and prove the existence or whatever. Math, science, and then we have another edition of faith, which I don't know. Math and science should eliminate the need for faith if we're proving
Yeah,
something.
but he
we
hasn't
don't need
mentioned
fucking-
that yet. He hasn't done the bait and switch yet.
Yeah, now
Let's
that's
everyone get their notebooks out because we're all going to write down all the science and all the math that he offers us.
Well, so here's the quid pro quo that is the paganism in Christianity when we talk about faith. There's an exchange here, a currency and belief. So you have to have faith, and everything is charged by this energy, this thing, faith. This it's so important that your salvation depends on it. You're like to avoid the wrath of this God, you must have this power of faith. Now, I need to know how this paganistic transfer of faith gives the God power or whatever. But how does that help you measure using math and science? Is that part of like the power? Do you power your math and science using faith? Is that like a wizard spell?
I don't know, but
You
dude, I've got my notebook here because I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna get a fucking Nobel Prize when I link this. When I link. When I link the spirit with science and shit, I'm gonna get a Nobel fucking Prize. So
if you
no,
power
actually,
your
I take it
science
back.
with faith, that's what it
Nobody
is.
write this down. I'm writing it down. This is gonna be my fucking.
You're totally gonna get paid for this one. But like I think
Fuck
what he's
yeah.
saying is that you have to power your math and science with faith and
With
prayer. You have to pray or basically do a Christian spell over your math. And then you will be
Yeah.
able to prove the existence or not exist.
That's
I don't know.
That's proper science.
that's how
If
Einstein
you
did it.
don't pray first, like
the physical world.
Yes, I
I mean,
agree.
physical science.
Yes,
Mhm.
I agree. Okay. So the claim, if I'm not mistaken, is that the Father is spirit. Was that right?
Yeah.
That Yahweh is spirit?
Wait a minute. Before you go about trying to disprove the
I guess
Christian
the
God,
question was, it was what he asked me to do. He told me to try and disprove his God. Now he's going to say, before you do the thing I asked you to fucking do next.
yeah. Let me
You
just derail a bit first. You fucking dishonest
tough.
prick.
before you go about trying to
The claim, if I'm not mistaken, is that the Father is spirit. Was that right?
Yeah.
That Yahweh is spirit?
wait a minute. Before you go about trying to disprove the
I guess
Christian
the
God,
question was tough.
before you go about trying to disprove the Christian God, please remember that you said that you can't prove a negative. The entire time.
This is that thing. I fucking spoke about it like today or something on Brojo's. This thing they do.
You were wrong
Like-
about that thing you said.
How dare you? Like, but they have to resort to, oh, you don't believe in objective fucking anything, so you have no grounding, so you can't comment. You just asked me to.
Well, see, and he wouldn't give me a chance to use what he brought up on his claims about God. See, I'm trying to get there, to bring up the very evidence he used about, to correct me, to show him that he can't use that way of proving a negative with Yahweh. That's why I asked if the
Yep.
Father was spirit, because we've already established, or at least jargon established, that you can't scientifically measure a spirit. Gman's ones is like faith, math, and science, baby.
And this is where I publicly call the cunt out. Come on anyone else's channel than yours. Doesn't have to be one of ours. Anyone, just not yours. So you can't kick, you can't mute and answer this question because you've danced around and dodged it. Like, I'm impressed. Your gymnastics is fucking Nadia Comaneci type shit.
Well,
But
every time they say science for and wanting to apply it to something that can't really be dealt with scientifically,
Meta.
I wanna say, well, wait, science is a way of doing something. It's a
process.
methodical way of doing something, so that if I do it where I am, that someone else in some other part of the world can duplicate the
Do it the
conditions
same
and
way.
the thing that I do and get the same results. Like, what kind of science are you proposing that we use? What method are you saying that we can use to do whatever you're proposing? You know?
And that is this fucking spot on question. And they know this, and it happens in the brain. Whether Will says it like that or not, it comes up, sort of thing. And you just see them have to run from it. They can't even approach that house. Like some wall pops up in their head, and it's like, go this way, look this way. Don't even fucking think about that. They
And maybe
won't approach
inside they're
it.
saying, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said science. Maybe I should have said something else." You know?
Yeah. And you'll see him go, I'm not talking about science. And Will's like, what the fuck? We literally just said, like, you want to talk about, so you watch in a few minutes. He goes, no, no, no. He interrupts their conversation, which is going brilliantly, and goes, no, I want to go back to science. And rambles for a minute. And then Will says something and goes, that's faith and belief, not science. He goes, yeah, I won't talk science with you. When literally he began that rant with, let's go back to science, and had to end with, I won't talk science. This is the level of mental whatever derogatory word you want to put in there.
Forehead, motard forehead wrestling is the new term for it.
Brilliant.
Time that you're talking. All right.
Yes, thank you. I also conceded that I was wrong. Did you hear me do that?
Oh, I'm glad. Congratulations.
Yes.
The
I guess
Christian
the
God.
question was tough.
Before you go about trying to disprove the Christian God, please remember that you said that you can't prove a negative. The entire time that you're
So, before you do the thing that I asked you to do, please concede the thing you have now conceded that Sam has publicly shown at least 4 times, because he lost count at 4. So, at least please do it the 5th time, Will.
talking. All right.
Yes, thank
Oh, sorry, my earbud fell out, which
you. I also conceded that I was wrong. Did you hear me do that?
Oh, I'm glad. Congratulations.
So I've moved.
And when you do it the 5th time that I just asked you to do, I'm going to completely dismiss it like a piece of shit.
past it. Can you?
No, I'm gonna shove that down your throats for the rest of your lives. But go ahead.
No, I'm a 3-year-old. I can't move past it. Now you've admitted it 5 times. Because I got a win for the first time in like 6 years, I'm going to hold that against you for the rest of your fucking existence.
Until y'all stop lying. Go ahead.
Till you stop lying.
You call it a win. It's a win that I conceded the point that it's possible, but it also made him bring.
It would
up
have been
the
a
thing
win
that
had he went
disproved.
and gone and
If he would have just
so-
read and applied what he read to his own claim, he would understand how what he's asking atheists to do is unreasonable.
Exactly.
Which is what I was trying to get. That's the point of me coming in and addressing it all from the beginning, is what I said.
Yep. And for your own peace of mind, you did make that very clear. And I think anyone watching with half a brain saw that. And that's why I wanted to stream this, because like this blows my mind. These people exist still. They have such cognitive dissonance and such arrogance and pride and all that.
I'm going to be even more horrible than you imagine. When I'm looking at the frame that you've got it paused at right now, I imagine that there's a small animal in front of him and he's picking insects off of it and eating them. Is that weird?
It kind of looks like that.
I'm basing it
Not
on
gonna
his
lie.
argumentation and nothing else.
I can't argue. I tried to think of an argument. Like, I can't.
Lying, I conceded. Did
It's
you hear me
rare.
concede the point, G-Man?
It's rare for somebody to concede the point. I'll give you that.
Sixth,
Right, but he
seventh,
doesn't seem to know that I did. Can you acknowledge that I conceded the
I would
point?
like for you. Yes, you
Eighth.
conceded the point. But now what
Thank
I
you.
want you to do, sir, is to actually go out there and try to prove that my God doesn't.
So now that I've just derailed the whole thing for 5 minutes and interrupted you trying to prove or whatever, answer my question. Now I've derailed and all that. I want you to go back to answer the question I interrupted you answering. Peace and serenity, Sam. Peace and serenity.
It exists now.
I'm working on it, but you keep interrupting me.
Yeah.
Now, Jargon was talking sensibly. Can you
mean like
join
you
the
was
party?
interrupting me, okay?
Yeah, can you join the party? We were talking about intelligent things.
Oh, I'm talking about intelligent things too.
I know you think so. Now, Jargon, you said that spirit, there's no way to measure it because it's not in the physical world. It's not a material thing, right?
Right.
Right. So that would make the claim itself kind of vague on the metrics necessary to measure a being that is purported to be spirit in our material world.
If you want to measure it, then you are a spirit. You have a spirit inside of you, and it's not a physical thing.
How do I know that?
If you want to measure it, you have a spirit. It's inside of you.
Yeah,
okay.
That was the.
How do I measure it?
Right, he's contradicting what he just claimed a second ago by saying a spirit couldn't be measured by any means here in the material world.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you can measure it. You just you're a spirit. See, well, how do I measure that claim that it's true if you can't measure a spirit? What the fuck are you talking about?
Like, let's literally just put it into 2 sentences. How do you measure a spirit? You are a spirit.
So what? What does
That's
that
it.
mean?
Yeah, okay. Thanks for that.
So what is it? Do I measure height, weight? Like what do I do? Bone density?
You have a spirit inside of you, and it's not a physical thing.
How do I know that?
You know that because you can determine order, intent, and purpose, which matter, physical world cannot do.
You can determine order, which matter and the physical world cannot do.
Well, if there's not
so he's appealing to consciousness.
If there's not matter, then what would be ordered? I don't.
Yeah, no, but he's saying you can determine matter. You can determine order. Matter can't determine it. He's just appealing to awareness, consciousness. You're aware. You can know things. Therefore, God. Cool. Doesn't really solve the problem because I can explain it with emergent awareness.
He's very polite, though. He's a very polite older.
Oh, he's a lovely dude. Yeah, he still believes bullshit, but he's not G-Man.
I'm not.
And also, watch G-Man fucking. Anytime G-Man thinks, "Oh, this guy's getting a bit off the track," he just shuts him down.
I'm not sure that means I have a spirit.
It absolutely does mean you have a spirit. You have wisdom, understanding, counsel, strength.
See, you have awareness, therefore spirit. Don't ask me to explain how, why, where, give you any proof or evidence. Just trust me, bro. You're aware, therefore spirit.
Knowledge and the fear of God or the expectation of good things.
So our emotions are attached to our spirit. Is that what you're saying?
No, the emotions are physical. There's
Fear. You mentioned fear and things like that. Those feel like
well,
emotions.
you have to define the fear of God. The fear of God is the respect for good things, for or the expectation of good things.
Good things. Okay, but we're talking about because I don't want to get too far from the science here. So to prove something, it would have to be measurable. You would agree with that jargon?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can observe it. You can observe that your spirit directs the physical world.
Right. So if I could prove that I had a spirit, I could extrapolate that idea to say, then there must be a singular one God and his name is Yahweh.
Yeah, and they both are too spritarded to understand the significance of what you just said. You were saying, so we can go from this like generic universal thing and just jump to Yahweh, the baby murdering fucking jealous child of the Bible. And they're like, and his response is, yeah, there had to be some source, agreeing with you. Therefore Yahweh. And you got fucking flea boy here eating whatever he's eating, fucking saying, grinning like, yeah, these are mic drop things. And it's like, they're not even comprehending what you're getting at, let alone responding to it. And they're so proud, like they're doing the Lord's work. It's
Well, they are. I mean, they represent Yahweh very well.
they do. They absolutely do.
Well, the power that you have came from a greater power, and you can't have an infinite regress of greater and greater powers. There has to be at some point a creator of all power that there are all, which I said they were gods, but you didn't like the fact that
No,
I
no,
said
no.
that
I didn't have
they're
a problem. I
gods.
said with the minor gods thing because that's why I was trying when we moved off of the idea that there was one singular
Well,
source,
that's
mind
the
and
thing.
power.
But that's the thing. If it's gods, it means there's more than one God, and then you have to find out. Well, who's the greater God?
I'm going to speak for everyone who has sensory shit with people eating. You're a fucking disgusting animal, G-man. Who sits live on camera, unmuted, eating? If you're hungry, cunt, turn your camera off and mute. Eat your fucking heart out. Don't put your filthy fucking ass on the camera and make your filthy noises. Like, some of us just fucking. I'm just saying, you're lucky I can't reach out and grab you because watching you munch that shit like that makes me so cranky. I think Halsey might understand a little bit.
Who's the greater power?
My
And
question would be, though, jargon, is if we agree that there's a singular source being, and at one point that's
Let him
all that
pick
was
his
in
teeth.
existence, be it spirit, be it matter, be it energy.
Pick your nose and eat
Everything
it.
that follows that is begotten of that being would be, it would consist or be assembled or composed of the
Sorry,
question would
I spoke over that. Sorry.
who's the greater God? Who's the greater power?
my
And
question would be, though, jargon, is if we agree that there's a singular source being, and at one point that's all that was in existence, be it spirit, be it matter, be it energy. Everything that follows that is begotten of that being would be, it would consist or be assembled or composed of the essence of the one original being that is all there is. There is no other substance to create from other than the God himself.
Yeah, there is no power that is not of God.
Right. So
So he is in agreement. And let me say that the alternative, right, is that they want to say that God created a new substance from nothing. So now we're
Right.
appealing to something from nothing. And if not, it had to come from God. It had to be God. It had to be
no,
like,
well,
if
no
there's
matter
nothing
what,
else, where the fuck did he get the
uh-uh.
shit to make the shit from?
No matter what, you can get them to admit that he used energy to create it, whatever the substance is. Therefore, the substance that's dependent, or that the other materials dependent on, is still God. And if he's everywhere, that substance is also God.
Yeah.
Whatever substance he creates outside of himself, if he is in everything, then it ceases to be outside of him.
It, do you know, and I honestly believe most Christians, all Christians, just naturally believe that. I believe that as a JW. I never passed it out in detail in my mind, but it's just one of those things. You know, God was the beginning. Everything proceeded from God. Even if you're one of the ones that think it went through the Son, whatever, it still all proceeded from the Father. It all come from one thing. You always understood it was God's force, God's energy, God's power, God's magic, God's whatever word you want to use, Holy Spirit. I think all Christians understand everything is of God. And they'll say it. Or they'll go, no, it's from God. Okay, what's the difference? Oh, I can't verbalize it, but trust me, there's a difference.
Just trust me. Faith, math, science.
Math, science.
Once God creates things,
Yeah, there is no power that
they
Sorry,
jump. Oh, it's okay. Once God creates things, they jump off of God and become their own thing. They're no longer of God, I suppose.
yeah.
You know.
So he's just a prime mover then. At that point, like. But I thought he was busy doing miracles and finding your keys and making wine for like
murdering like thousands of
murdering
people in
babies.
floods and plagues and genocide.
I'll tell this
That
story.
cunt's busy.
I may have told this story before to you, Sammy, but I'll probably tell it again. Aside from now, I mean, but I used to have this Christian friend who he was very, I would say, simple and dedicated to his faith. And one day when he was out, I don't know if he was riding his bike or he was walking, but somehow he got into an accident and his foot and ankle got really messed up. Like he broke his ankle and his
Came
foot got
off.
mangled, right?
Oh,
And it took him a very long time to heal, a really long time to walk again. And it was still like he walked with a limp and his foot was sore all the time and stuff. And I said to him, I said, so why do you think that God allowed that to happen to you? And he said, oh, well, God saved my life. It could have been much worse. That was where he went with that. That
yeah.
was
You
his,
always give
Yeah.
God the benefit of the doubt.
yes.
Like, oh, I was about to die, but it only
Oh,
cost me my fucking foot.
Yeah.
he
Very
cut.
close.
He let my foot cut off, but he could have let my head cut off.
Yeah.
So praise be. Like, what the fuck?
And also, God was trying to make him understand how valuable his feet were. You know, he was taking his feet for granted.
Yeah, and to appreciate it, you now have to suffer in pain of a fucked up foot for the rest of your life. But you'll appreciate it,
We'll appreciate the reminder, the constant reminder.
like,
It'll strengthen him.
of what you don't have, mind you. I'm gonna remind you of what you don't have. Remember when your feet didn't hurt? Wasn't that cool? I'm an awesome God. Worship me. what the fuck? What's that? When you start like having sympathy for your kidnapper.
Shit.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yes.
Fucking yeah, or / Christianity.
I've made that comparison before myself, and I think it's right on the nose. Yep.
That it's not of God.
Right. So it's almost like all that is just different shapes of God. Different. If God is omnipresent, if God is everywhere, then He is in everything. Every possible space inside of a molecule is God.
Well, yeah, every physical thing.
Sorry to pause again. As a self-declared atheist, that's just logic. It's not even theism. It's not theology. It's not. It's just logic, as well. Like, isn't it? Isn't it logic? Is that what like, or am I just
Describe
Right.
what is logic again? What were you saying?
so? If everything that exists came from this source, came from a thing, it is made of the thing. I can't make I can't so
If it's the
example,
only thing,
if a
if
pot
it's
is
hold
made
on,
of clay,
if
made
it's the
from
only
clay,
thing, if it's the only, because we're talking about God, if it's the only thing, now that's very specific
yeah.
to a vacuum where there's only a spirit.
But it works like if a pot, cup, anything, I don't care what you want, is made only of clay, it is clay. I can
Yes.
go, yeah, but it's a pot. Great. It's clay. Is it
Yes.
not clay? When
Yes.
did it stop being clay?
Correct.
What
And
about?
that I think is that not a good analogy? Yeah,
It is,
kind
but
of.
yeah, I mean it is, except for what I was saying before. When you apply that to God and the situation that we're describing, where it is the only thing and everything at the
That
same time,
exists. Yeah.
and anywhere that it creates, it's everywhere in that space. Everything it creates, remember, omnipresent.
Yeah.
So no
So
matter
it's
what it
worse than the
creates,
clay thing because there's nothing
it's
else everything can
inside.
be.
It'd be like the clay pot being inside of a big puddle of clay, right? No matter what you did, it would always be sunken in a big old bog of clay. What I'm saying is everything is inside of this God. It is outside, inside. It is everything there is.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What am I trying to say? I think I might have
No,
misspoke.
I yeah. No, I get
Everything is
it.
inside.
So, like, we could say that clay pot is separate to the earth. It's still from the earth. It's still part of the earth.
You can lift it up off of the
Still
earth.
on the yeah.
You
But
can't do anything outside of this being that they're proposing. No matter what it
well,
creates, it can't be an external anything since it's omnipresent, which means
yeah.
that whatever particle or substance it's made of, the God that just created the substance is also the substance. It
Yeah.
can't be another way if it was the only thing, and that's what they propose, that there was nothing but their
Okay.
God.
So in a nutshell, if it's not God, there is something other than God, like outside of God, outside of God.
Yes, which is
Yeah,
what they're proposing without realizing it.
yeah.
Every time they say that it's separate from God, that there's a substance that is not God, which means that God couldn't have been the only thing at any point.
Yep. Oh, sirens. Let me mute.
Is a
He's trying to
a
basically
power. It
jargon,
consists of energy. Every physical thing consists of energy, even quantum stuff.
jungle jargon.
You're muted, by the way.
Sammy, did you mean to speak? You're muted. And the video's paused.
Be careful. He's trying to argue that everything is God. Be careful.
No, everything is from God. That's the thing.
Everything is from God, but he's trying to argue that everything is God. So be careful.
Well, sort of, yes, that the substance of all things, if there was no other substance to create from, would be of the one being.
Oh, so he's a pantheist, huh?
Could be. Could be.
There you go.
Okay.
That doesn't change. That doesn't change the question. It's not about my worldview. It's me positing a question. It doesn't matter whether it's my worldview or another idea. It's just a fair question about where things come from. If there was a singular source being and it was the only energy and power in existence.
Okay. So
where did other matter or substance come from?
So let's stick on the topic of science. Let's stick on the topic of science. The Big Bang. Earlier, we were talking about the Big Bang, or we were watching a video about the Big Bang. Where did the singularity come from?
I don't necessarily believe there was a singularity.
Okay, so how did the Big Bang happen?
I don't necessarily believe there was a singular Big Bang.
Okay, so you don't necessarily believe that there was a singular Big Bang. Okay, how did the universe come to be?
Don't know, wasn't there.
Okay, so we're talking about science right now. You don't know how the universe came to be. You don't believe in a singular Big Bang. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on, we're talking about science. I made sure I said that in the beginning.
I heard you.
You don't necessarily believe in a singular Big Bang. And you don't know how the universe came to be.
Right.
Okay. So what's your explanation for the universe?
Well, we were just discussing it. I don't know if you were paying attention, but Jargon and I were talking about that.
I was paying a lot of attention to it.
Then why did you derail us?
You're supposed to be trying to prove that God doesn't exist.
I'm supposed to be doing what I'm doing.
Listen.
You're still muted, Sammy. No, whenever you pause the video, no one's hearing anything you're saying.
You might need.
So the first one, I left to take a leak, and I was just going to let the video play, and my earbud fell out. And the stupid things, if I take an earbud out, it thinks I want to pause the video, so it pauses for everybody. And because I couldn't grab my earbud while I was literally mid-piss, I was in a panic. I was like, oh, what do I do? And then I realized I can press the other earbud. It'll play the video.
You know, the sound of you making water would have been more educational than anything that Gman was going to say.
Sammy's like a god. He can make water.
So, yeah. And then the second one, I just paused right then to say, Will, did you want to comment on what he just said? Or
no, I don't even remember what he said. I just wanted to make sure that when you paused it, you knew that we couldn't hear you. I don't. Okay. Oh yeah, when he was talking about getting back to science, yeah, he was.
Yeah,
and then prove God or prove God doesn't exist, and then get back to science. Prove God doesn't exist, and get back to science.
I'm sorry, sir. We don't respect your knowledge because you say you don't understand science. You don't even know how the universe.
See. But now that I've said, let's get back to science, I'm not going to talk science.
He's asking me how the universe began, and he's like, we're not going to talk to you because you don't know how the universe began. Even though me and Jargon were just proposing some ideas on how the universe could have possibly began. He's just, he wants to do it scientifically, but I don't think you can scientifically prove how the universe began.
But he doesn't do it scientifically. He literally... the very next words out of his mouth is faith. And then proceeds to say that you can know things, have knowledge by belief and faith.
Knowledge by belief. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love how, like, you know, you can explain the universe scientifically on a YouTube live stream of non-scientists, but the greatest scientists in the world, with all of the funding they could ever want, use, etc., all of the equipment, resources, and all of the other scientists that they could speak with and collaborate with, still don't know. Not 100% how we all started here, you know? but he can know, you know, because faith.
I'd say that they must be deceived by the devil. Is the rational explanation.
That, you know what, I didn't think about that, but that is, yes, that is the one thing that definitely exists outside of the omnipresent God, the source of all things, which is the devil.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he explains all the things that the God can't. All the time something bad happens. Oh, it was the devil. Something good happened. Oh, that was God.
That's propaganda, I
Or,
say.
or if there's not an emphasis on the devil, every time something good happens, it's God. Every time something bad happens, it's you.
Your fault. Yep. Absolutely. Christian guilt.
You can't ever do
You don't.
anything good. Everything good that you do is God. Everything
Yeah.
bad that you do is either the devil
Is
making you
you.
do it, but it is you in some way being a part of it. That you have to work
Well,
with the devil.
you've been weak. Yeah. Yeah. So you've, for whatever reason, you've exposed yourself to the devil. You know, you chose the devil.
Yep.
You masturbated on Sunday.
Exactly.
You had doubt. You watched a movie that had ideas in it that turned
That
into
had bad
I
ideas.
I
Yeah.
could tell by the sound of your voice, Sammy, that that specific reference to masturbating on Sunday meant something to you.
Dude.
Because I've been there. I've been there on Saturday and Sunday, depending on which faith I
Yeah.
was in.
Well, not just Sunday, but like literally at church.
Oh.
Halfway through, it's like, fuck, this shit's boring. Off into the toilet.
For a wank.
Fucking rub one out. Go
Wow.
back
Well,
out
that's
there with a
2
big
minutes
grin.
up. So now
But
what?
then, yeah, lay in bed all night as a fucking 12-year-old thinking I'm going to hell because I had a wank at church. Like,
You got caught up in the naughty moment before you thought about the eternal torment.
yeah, exactly.
Like, man, maybe he'll
Dude,
just let me
the
go. It didn't even
worst,
take
nah,
long.
the worst part, the hell torment things there while you're trying to have a wank.
That's part
You
of the
just,
fun.
yeah, but it's like you're just too horny to give a shit until
I'm
it's
gonna go to
over.
hell for this, but it feels so good. I can't
Yeah,
stop.
I was going to say,
and then you
if you're going to risk your salvation, you should make it a good one. You know.
exactly.
Edge for a while. You know, I'm just anyway. Wait, that's weird because we're talking about a child. That's not very. Let's move on. This is uncomfortable
Yeah,
territory.
no, it's all right because it was like I was talking about myself, but yeah, let's move on.
How people got here. You don't know anything because you're too afraid to answer questions directly. Like I'm just saying.
Not even gonna say anything. You don't answer questions directly.
Okay, I'm just saying. When you come in here and you're afraid to say you're an atheist, you got to pretend to be a theist to try to look important or whatever, try to be a troll. That's one.
Oh my god! See, again, after all that, you're still lying. You're not a theist, no matter how many times you've tried to tell him. And
But when we start asking you serious questions about how the universe got here, how people got here, and things like that, and you don't answer those questions, you're attempting to derail, but you're proving a greater point that I make on this YouTube channel about atheists. You really are.
So you didn't like the answer about Yahweh?
I didn't say that. Actually, what do you believe? Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I apologize. You believe that God created humans. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
I did.
Yeah, great.
So what is that? Like the 8th time he's acknowledged that you believe in God? And did he literally not just finish a sentence saying he doesn't believe you believe in God? What is happening right now?
I'm just distracted by the irony of Jill's thing being left up there and the grace and peace, and thinking of how much they're alike and how much neither one of them have any grace or are interested in peace.
But are actually actively interested in the opposite.
Yeah. Well, there was room for them to, try to sell me on Yahweh logically with the path that I was going on with jungle jargon, where we were in agreement. But like
Yeah.
you pointed out, when the word pantheism comes up, they lose their fucking minds and try to scramble Yahweh's eggs.
It's beautiful.
So the Bible teaches us that we're fearfully made in the image of God, fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God, and you actually believe that. Well, praise be the name of the Lord.
I didn't say that.
But
I didn't say that. Don't put
You
words in my mouth.
just said that people came from God, and I'm glad that me and you actually agree with that. Or are you changing your statement?
Do you want my answer?
Yes, I do.
yeah, just answer.
I believe that people are created by the God or gods, but not in his image or their image.
Why not?
And you believe this because
You have autonomy, don't you?
Well, because I have faith. You see, you just pointed out I have a lot of faith. Maybe I just have faith in it, G-Man.
okay. So yeah, what kind of faith do you have in it?
Purple
What
faith.
kind of faith? I love it.
I never heard.
Also, what that other guy just say? I want to hear it.
You have autonomy, don't you?
How is that a response? How? What?
I don't even know if I have. I mean, what does that mean? I have autonomy. I mean, it's like if I want to go get something to drink, I can.
What is that?
What is
How
that?
is
I
that
don't.
related?
Right? Is he talking about like a meta autonomy? Like, did I create myself that weird thing he was talking about where energy creates and directs
Yeah.
itself? Or is that what? Because I can't ever tell with jargon.
Like maybe you literally are God, like the God.
Well, I am, and you
Is
are,
that, yeah,
and
but
we
is
are.
that what he's saying?
Well,
Because
I don't know what
think
he's
it's
saying.
what he's trying to say.
I don't know what he's
But
saying now, but about 15 minutes ago, he sure as fuck was saying that everything was God. God was omnipresent.
Everything.
Yeah. We got the pantheism, and then they backtrack.
The-
So, in my mind, jargon can get there. G-Man, I don't know. He was like, eating bugs.
He wasn't listening at all.
He was
like
still
Jill.
thinking about that win he got where he's like,
Yeah.
that atheist just
I
bowed to
can't
me.
believe I'm gonna clip that. I'm gonna clip the fuck out of that, man. Oh yeah.
Well, because I have faith. You see, you just pointed out I have a lot of faith. Maybe I just have faith in it, G-Man.
Okay. So yeah, what kind of faith do you have in it?
Purple faith.
Okay. I never heard of purple faith. I can go to the dictionary and go look at the definition of faith.
Yeah, go ahead.
4 different definitions for it. But one of the definitions is blind faith. Do you have a good reason to believe that God did not, that the God that you believe in, obviously, that you say that you believe in, did not make human beings?
Isn't that ironic? Someone like J-Man trying to blame you of blind faith.
I mean, I haven't given him a magic book that I'm,
It's precious.
and I haven't reported that I've spoken directly. So in the Christian mind, if you don't have a magic book and you don't have direct spiritual revelation, then your faith is blind.
Blind.
They totally
So-
just omit that the book still is blind faith. You put blind faith in a book that you can't substantiate.
Yeah. And then use it circularly.
And you might also be giving your faith to the wrong entity,
Yes.
Yeah, once you get them to admit
there's
that
no
God
way they'll consider that.
Once you get them to admit that God can potentially lie, since he's omnipotent, he can potentially lie. He has the power to lie. I mean, he's going to be the best at it. At any point, if he decided that thing he said about not changing was like something he wanted to play with the idea of lying on, because he could potentially do it. He could change his mind, even though he says he doesn't. If he's potentially able to lie, he could be the trickster God. He could have been the
claim
trickster
that
God all along.
can't change. That's a big claim that I don't think is aptly substantiated.
Not in the Bible at all.
No.
He clearly is changing throughout the Bible. He's moving, he's
Several
going all kind of places,
times,
changing his mind.
regretting shit, fucking going, oh
Yeah.
shit, I fucked that up.
Oh, fucked up Zimbabwe. Oh, what did I do with Rwanda? Oh, Belgium. Oh, no.
I thought Belgium was okay.
Well, we don't know what God thought.
True. Exactly.
in
Exactly.
their own image.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
Because none of the gods that I've ever seen look like people.
And wait a minute. None of the guys that you've seen look like people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what did these guys look like?
Well, it depends on what
Define.
culture.
Define God. Define God.
Ah, now that's an important. Thank you, Jargon.
Wait, no, sorry, Jungle Jargon. Hold on a minute. He just said he saw a guy.
Hang on, Jungle Jargon. Before you actually ask a pertinent question, I want to go on this crazy fucking 5-year-old shit because I'm a big boy.
No impulse
Watch
control.
me. Yeah.
Right. And none of the guys that he ever seen look like.
Will said bum. That's what this amounts to, what we're about to watch.
People. That's what he just said to me.
Right. I heard that too.
That,
Go back.
well, it depends on what
Fine.
culture.
Define God. Define God.
Ah, now that's an important. Thank you, Jargon.
Wait, no, sorry, Jungle Jargon. Hold on a minute. He just said he saw a guy, and none of the guys that he ever seen look like people. That's what he just said to me.
Right. I heard that too.
And you remember what he said earlier when he said that he just believes in a God, and then that's it. You remember what he said
And
earlier?
looks
He said,
like-
right.
And he said, looks like. That means he physically saw.
I also recall the only thing you have said literally is that he is the source. And you did say he, but you know, that's human language. It's what happens. It is the source of everything, blah, 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 blah. The only thing you said was actually a negation was, I don't know its name. That's
Well,
it.
now they're asking me about the gods that I've seen, and I want to talk
Yeah,
about.
but you never said you didn't see it. You just said you don't know its name. You don't know its identity.
Well, I'm not even talking about the God that I believe is the source God now, because I'm talking. You know,
all the gods you've seen. Yeah.
Right, and one of the ones I'm trying to get at is the sun. You know, because it's like one of the oldest worshipped, things as a deity is the sun. And for good reason, because we need it to live.
Yeah. The only pushback I would have had is maybe the Roman gods and that. Well, actually, most of the early gods actually they thought were physical things, even though they had magical powers and shit. They thought they did look like humans, but yeah, that's not really on the right fucking point. That's not what he's talking about. Because the God he imagines is not that kind of God that has a physical body and has any sort of fucking.
No, we can't weigh his God or do anything. We've already been over that.
You can't look at it. You can't see it. You can't be in the presence of it without dying.
More evidence for Santa Claus. We've already discussed that too.
Which is also evidence for the fact you can be there and be alive. You don't have to die to be in heaven. Because, like, if you go to heaven, you might die. Hang on. How the fuck do you get to heaven if you're not dead already?
If God is omnipresent and he's inside of all of us, then we all know God and we wash God in the shower.
That's not all we do.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into that, but I'm just saying, like, God can be naughty when he's left alone.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, God was there on Sunday at church, right there beside me. He was giving me a reach around. He was giving me a reach around.
You were inside the God field. He was not separate at all from you.
In fact, every bit of you was God doing that.
Actually, you're right. He was me. He was in me.
Also had
now you're getting turned on. Now you're having Catholic fantasies.
That's something
like-
Big
happened on
love to
Bro.
Mac.
That was did either of you see Brojo's last stream? Raw was on there and he was eroticizing the fuck out of Christ. He was like, I want to have sex with Christ. I would suck his dick.
Whoa.
I got him to admit, I'm not kidding. He went everywhere I took him. I was like,
Wow.
would you let him in, like, up inside you and stretch you open? And he's like, oh, yeah, I want Jesus right up inside me.
Wait a
Like,
minute.
fuck, Roy, I'm going to clip the shit out of this. He's like, please do. I'm like, okay.
I feel uncomfortable clipping it. I'm just hearing Raw making the sounds that you were just making. The
I
idea
know.
Of, ooh,
I
it's gonna sound like prison sex in heaven.
It did. It's exactly what it sounded like. And I didn't think Raw would ever go there, but he was like, no. It was that
They're really
it's a typical
repressed.
Christian thing, yeah, but that there's really no there's no line in the sand when it comes to God and Christ. Like, you can lie, you can be, as long as it's for God and Christ, you can be gay, you can have the fucked out of you by Christ's big cock. You know? As long as it's for Christ, it doesn't matter. It's just weird. Very, very weird. Stockholm.
Physical God.
Yeah, so let's hear what he got to say. Physically,
Are you
speaking,
ready?
Will, yeah.
Are you
Will,
ready?
Yeah,
No,
Will,
jargon asked me for a definition.
Well, wait a minute, hold on. Will, you say you saw God and it didn't look like it was human. I'm asking you a question. How did it look?
I'm going to answer jargon first.
No, I asked you the question first, and then you can answer jargon. What did the God look like that you claim that you didn't see in the beginning of this video?
It was bright as anything I've ever seen.
I'm just gonna point out that this little bit started with hold up, jargon. Interrupted him, cut him off, didn't let him make his point, and will not let you answer, jargon. Has derailed the conversation, has come in and said, no, I have a new topic, new question. I want this answer because where you were about to go, I'm uncomfortable with.
Science,
answer
math,
this.
faith. Science, math, faith.
Oh,
Seen so bright I couldn't even look at it directly. I could feel the heat radiating off of it.
So you never seen him then?
Yeah, I just said I did.
It sounds like you were looking into the sun.
Are you saying that wasn't worshipped as a god?
No, I'm just saying that it sounds like you were looking at the sun. Because earlier in the video, you told me you never saw a God. Then you told me that the God that you saw didn't look anything like a human.
Jargon asked the appropriate question. You overlooked it.
No, but I'm just saying, though, like
pause?
what you basically said, you saw this.
I heard him when I said, are you saying that was never worshipped as a god? And he's like, yeah, he totally acquiesced to that. They asked me, what gods have I seen? That's one of the gods that have always been worshipped that I did see, and it does do a thing. I'm not saying it's sentient. I didn't add any characteristics, but I believe without defining it the way that Jargon was proposing that we do and moving on, Gman's given me perfect license to say that I've seen the sun and the sun is worshipped as a god. Therefore, I have seen the gods and they don't look like humans. That's what I want to say. Thanks.
yeah. And this is literally after G-Man sat there for 5 or 10 minutes, Jargon went on about how everything from God himself to the sun to your lighter that lights your cigarettes is a god. It
boggles the mind.
Light doesn't exist according to you? Very interesting. So
that's not what I said. You're not capable of having this discussion. Jargon asked me for a definition.
No, I'm not. I'm actually
Jargon asked a definition. What is a god?
Wait a minute. Well. Well, you got to understand something. Well, I'm trying to learn here. I'm really trying to get educated here. Earlier in the video, you told me you never saw one. Now you're telling me that you did see a god, and you told me that the god that you saw didn't look anything like a human.
Yeah, I know what I said.
Well, if
How
you want
about,
to
how
learn,
about
well, I have a channel called Sowing and Reaping. Okay, all I do is troll over there. Go look at that video over there, and you can get some pretty good lessons on how to actually do this properly.
how about a king? Is a king your god?
Wow.
Some kings have been deified, yes.
Sorry, I just reacted to this whole idea that, oh, if you really want to troll, then you need to learn how to do it properly, and he's the teacher. That's hilarious.
What happened?
I have no idea. Sam, are you there?
I was talking the whole time. I didn't realize I was muted. Fuck. The ironic thing is, this is a channel. This other channel is the channel that he said when I questioned what happened to your audience. There's 7 viewers and 6 of us are making fun of you. Oh, you should see my other channel. When I go live there, there's hundreds of viewers, blah, 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 blah. And he's just said that channel, he's just the troll. So I think
I mean, he's proven it.
we've just seen, yeah.
He keeps muting me, and I'm really trying to get to the point where the jargon pointed out we need to define what we're using the term God for.
Yeah. And if this is not his troll channel, this is his serious channel where only haters watch him. He only has views when he's a troll. That's what he's just said without even realizing he said it. But I guess
you're right. You're right. Yeah.
I guess he did kind of admit it because he said even if I had 1 viewer, I'd do it because it's about the result. And I'm like, but if the result is 1 viewer, they probably
He's
already
winning
agreed
souls.
with you.
He's winning souls for Gigi. Big baby G.
Big Daddy G.
Well, does the king have power?
Yes, a king typically has some modicum of power. Yes.
So he's a god, not the god, but a god.
If that's your definition that you're operating from.
Yeah. And how about a volcano? Is a volcano?
Yeah. That's it. That was the response. Yeah. Or if that's the definition you're going from, power. Just power.
Anything with power.
That's it. Anything. Yeah. Is a volcano got power?
No. The earth has power. There's pressure. That's power. The volcano is just the channel.
A volcano is a result of all that power pushing through, busting through the Earth's surface. It's not the thing with the power. Like, he admitted it. He said that your lighter fluid is the power. You know, exactly like the lava and the shit down underneath. That's the power, not the fucking mountain with a hole in the top of it.
Yeah, that's just the rock.
Yeah.
People have worshipped volcanoes as a god. So yes, that would be a god.
Does the volcano have power?
Does it have power? It harnesses power.
Yes.
It
the answer is yes.
No, it's not. Hold on.
That's a good point, John. You got him.
The volcano harnesses the power. It basically directs it. The stone itself doesn't build the heat. The heat comes from it within.
But it has power.
Power comes through it, yes.
So a volcano is a god. By definition.
People have worshipped it as a god, yes.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with saying a volcano is a god.
Until we define what a god is, then anything worshipped by man can be a god until you define it
No,
further.
it has nothing to.
Great point. And his response is no, 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 no. It's lovely.
Then anything worshipped by man can be a god until you
No,
define it further.
it has nothing to do with worship. It has to do with whether or not it has power or not, and whether you recognize that it has power.
So it
Now, did G-Man just disagree with that? So we can hold that to G-Man. He does not disagree. Worship has nothing to do with God. It's all to do with power. That's the way they see their God. They do worship a fucking monster, don't they? It's
yes.
crazy.
Yes, and they're afraid of it more than anything. They're not actually. I don't believe they have actual love. I think they have
reverence,
awe and fear.
They talk about reverence, but
you can get them to admit that they fear the God more than the devil.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's wow.
Revealing. That's what it is.
Isn't it? That's very revealing.
Anything with power is a god. Is that what you're saying?
That's the definition of a god.
I don't know, because that would mean that a telephone pole is a god. That's
pretty smart, Joe Gajari. I like
anything with power is the definition of a god. You're pretty smart, Jungle Jargon.
Yeah, I love how he just piled on applause to that. Like, that's a perfect argument. No, it's not. It's not a perfect argument.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But anyway.
It has structure. A telephone pole has structure in it that requires some form of energy to have structure, but it's, I mean, you could say, oh, yeah, a telephone pole is an angel. Yeah.
Is my lighter a god?
A telephone pole is an angel.
Wow, back that up, please. Please.
It has structure. A telephone pole has structure in it that requires some form of energy to have structure, but it's, I mean, you could say, oh, yeah, a telephone pole is an angel. Yeah.
Is my lighter a god?
And then you're like, all right, if telephone poles are angels, let's just go all out. Is my lighter a god?
I was thinking about that when we were talking about the volcano. I was like, then technically my lighter is a god because there's fire that comes out of it.
Coming out of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Pole is an angel. Yeah.
Is my lighter a god?
It stops people when walking. Well, does the lighter have power? Does your lighter have power?
That's what I'm asking. Fire can come from it, but I have to flick it. So does that mean that lighter has power or that I do?
Well, you don't make the flame, right?
It doesn't either. It's a combination of me and it.
Well, it has power in the lighter fluid. The lighter fluid is powerful, right?
It's inert until I do something with it. Consciousness
it's
power.
It's powerful. It has power.
Consciousness, cognitive abilities, tactile abilities, things like that is power.
Lighter fluid. He just said the power's in the lighter fluid, and then said so lighter fluid's conscious.
But is it the lighter fluid that has power, or the person that figured out the formula for it?
Exactly. Or how to ignite it? Like,
have we forgotten my godlike flicking
until you ignite it?
No. Yeah, that's right. I'm the god that can flick the flint and make that happen. Like, there's no, like, even monkeys would struggle with that shit until someone showed them.
A whole planet of lighter fluid would do nothing. Where's the power? Oh, it has.
That's an excellent point.
Power, but
potential, could that be the source being?
Is non-existent. You know,
could lighter fluid be the source being? We should start proposing that special is made entirely of lighter fluid.
And your lighter is God.
God. It's an angel. My lighter is just an angel. It's just harnessing the power.
I understood. See, he thought I reckon he said power lines are angels because they deliver the messages.
I guess telephone lines would be. I don't know.
I'm trying to fucking give you I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of the bullshit. How do
Did
you make
see
sense of a power line as an angel?
Did you see the comment in the chat about a better argument for
Yes.
deity would be that which has power and is the source of their own power? Which I
Say
agree
that
with.
again for me.
It says Ashra's Orchard says a better argument for deity would be that which has power and is the source of their own power.
Good on him. Asher's Orchard is that weird little Jew guy.
Oh, I know.
I had him on my
Ariel,
channel a few
right?
times.
I
Yeah, I think it's Ariel as well. Yeah, I think his real name is Ariel.
Yeah, I remember him from a couple years ago.
I just remember him and do you remember Graham? He had that like
Graham Pong.
They had a lot of good conversations, the two of them.
Yeah, anytime I go live, usually he's there. If it's not late at night and shit, he does pop up. Bless him.
Will is a troll, guys. I'm sorry, I just noticed the thing on there.
That's why I went back. But it's just Gman. I thought someone in the chat might have said it, but
I see.
He's just trying to tell the audience, don't worry about Will, man. Don't listen to his wisdom because he's a troll. Just listen to my nonsense.
Well, no, it's powerful. It has power. And
what does it do?
What does it do?
What does the butane do? It doesn't
burns.
burn without a spark. Where does the spark come from?
Well, you flick it.
Who does?
You flick it.
Well. Do you know what a nonsensical question is? Because you're asking. The point is that we asked you to come. We asked the atheist community to come here and prove that God does not exist. And I'm going to be honest. All you necessarily did was.
And I'm going to be honest. You've said 6 times that that's a nonsensical question. That's your whole point for being here, is to point out the whole fucking title is a stupid fucking title. But I'm going to totally ignore that. And I'm going to say, you atheist that's told me 10 times you're not an atheist, that you can't tell me there's no God. Prove it. Prove there's no God, even though you've said you're not here to prove it. And it's a nonsense question. And you're not an atheist.
That's a good summary.
That's what...
Prove that you don't understand where the universe came from. You don't understand where people came from. You change your answers and you're not consistent with your statements. Can you actually prove that God doesn't exist? What Jungle Jargon is suggesting and is saying, which is true, that there are human beings that would consider lesser gods to have power. That's all he's saying. Okay, and all you atheists do is define God one way, and that's the way the Christian God is.
Well, can you please do the thing that you just said was impossible?
Prove that God doesn't exist?
Yeah.
That would destroy my worldview, possibly. If I
No.
Oh, can I prove a negative?
It doesn't matter. I want you've literally just said it's impossible. Well, I now want you to do it.
Right, you're parodying what he's doing back
Him.
to me,
Yeah. And it's what he just has. He's doing it over and over again, no matter what you say. I'm an atheist. His response is I'm a theist. His response is you're an atheist. Yeah, you can't disprove God. It's a stupid question. His response is disprove God.
Yeah, that's precisely what's happening, man. You spot on.
Way the Christian God is defined. All right. But over and
the point is that all powers come from a greater power, and the ultimate power is the Creator, God, the ultimate, the God, the King, the God of gods, the King of kings, the Lord of lords.
Right. All lower powers and lesser powers comes from the supreme power. Now,
so
what
I guess
happens
you've
if you don't have
convinced
a
me.
supreme
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't realize you meant Ashrid's here in the chat. I thought you meant he had popped up on Gman's chat, and I was like,
No.
wasn't sure how you could even see Gman's chat because I can't even see it. But he's here in our chat. Okay.
Yeah, you're high because I've been putting his.
I'm high as fuck, dude.
Yeah, we've been putting his stuff up on the screen. You're like, what? See, we've been.
I'm trying to do it, and we're all doing it at the same time. If God could be proven, who are we to think that nobody before us would have already done it? Oh, I love you. And if it was proven, that proof would have been forgotten. Yeah. Yep. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Well, like when G-Man says, "Can you prove that God doesn't exist?" Like he can't prove that he does. So where are we? But back where we started, like.
But
that's why this argument will go on forever.
Yeah.
And I guess we haven't got there. It might be where it ends, but his response to that house is, I can know things through faith.
You can talk yourself into believing things through faith is what I say to that,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You can believe.
Yeah, I can know things by believing it is true. That's what that means. If you can know things by faith, you can know things by belief, and belief does not equal knowledge. What did I say? The faith and belief, they don't equal knowledge.
Yeah. No. Don't worry. You can say anything you want about this dude. This is G-Man. He is famous, infamous, Calvinist, preterist. Sorry, I pronounced that incorrectly. Imbecile. Yeah. Dishonest.
Nice, by the way, bringing that joke back from the beginning of the stream and sliding it back in. That was nice.
See, I'm not that high. Just mostly. I know.
I'm convinced.
That didn't make any sense.
So I think you just turned me into a Christian. There's no way to argue with this logic.
No. That's not what's being done right here. The show is called,
Jesus
come in and...
No, don't agree with me. Oh, you agree with me now? Well, now I need to find something else to disagree with.
Prove that God does not exist. Since you've been in this room, you tried to argue that a negative can't be proven. Then I went on Google, and then 4 seconds later, I proved to you that a negative can be proven. You acknowledge that a negative can be proven. Then
I ignored the definition I brought up and the stipulations within it. I did not compare my God to that.
Exactly, yeah.
And then
he asked you direct questions. You are constantly changing your answer.
Lie.
Jungle jargon is telling you that there are powers, and there are lesser powers, and that there's an ultimate power that gives a lesser power.
Jungle jargon said his lighter is a god. Full stop.
Powers, their power. That's what he's saying to you. And instead of you sticking to the topic, you're attempting to look funny in front of your atheist friends out there. Okay?
And instead of you not sticking to your guns, which is what you did, you wouldn't fucking jump from topic to topic, which I tried to do. You wouldn't just agree with me, even when I was nonsensical and said things like, let's get back to science. I'm not going to talk science to you. So therefore I win because I'm fucking G-Man.
This is why I constantly and consistently say that atheists cannot prove that God does not exist.
I'm not a fucking atheist.
Whoa. Hey, wait, pause. That makes atheists correct because I came in to say that no one could prove that God didn't exist. That's a negative that can't be proven. And then he demonstrated my point with his definition that God doesn't fall into a category where you could use evidence of absence to prove he doesn't exist. So I don't. He
which was in that definition.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
But
exactly. So
remember, in the very beginning, he also said how easy it was to prove that Santa Claus doesn't exist because, well, we don't see him here, do we?
Yeah.
To him, that was enough.
Never did. And then he never did it.
wow.
It's fucking beautiful. It is really beautiful.
Assertion that you guys have, and you guys treat it like a religion.
Yeah, so when you flick the lighter, it means you have the power in your possession. When you
Well, just so you know, you non-atheist, you that atheist.
I heard jargon say that I can hold a god in my hand and have the power.
When you flick the lighter,
Flick a lighter, I'm holding the
I'll go
god and
back.
getting the power. That's awesome.
Cannot prove that God does not exist. It is a faith-based assertion that you guys have, and you guys treat it like a religion.
I can know things from faith. Ooh, yours is a faith-based assertion.
Yes, it is a faith-based assertion that you guys have, and you guys treat it like a religion.
yeah, so when you flick
Religion's bird, guys.
Pot, meat kettle.
Okay, G-Man.
the lighter, it means you have the power in your possession. When you drive a car, you have the power in your possession. If you have a lot
Your
of
car
support
is
from
God
all the
too.
people, then you have the power in your possession.
It's kind of simplistic.
Wait, you paused it right there where Halsey had paused it, sort of, when she showed us that still. Look, there's the quote
yeah,
again.
that's
Only
right.
Yeah.
only simpletons believe everything they're told. It's funny that it's right underneath him.
Look at that face.
Like, you know how many awesome
Let me screen that
stills.
shot.
You know,
Like
there's
Halsey
better
did.
ones. There's better ones. He leaves this up for an ungodly amount of time. Like, he makes some dumb faces regularly.
I enjoy how the other day he wouldn't respond to me or anything, but he just put one of my comments up and he left it there for like 30 minutes. And all it said was
Yeah.
weak as piss.
Yeah. There was so many fucking, like, you could make so many t-shirts out of just that.
Anyway, so he's being quiet right now. So
But no one
you wanna
asked
get
me a
back to-
question.
You want to go back to the video, Jungle Jargon, and look at how science actually proves that God exists?
Can we kick
Because
him
Will's
out?
not going to acknowledge that. Will,
I'm
by the way,
trying to-
since you don't know how
I just did. I just said that your
Jungle
argument
Jargon,
is
you
too
say you don't
strong.
know. Hold on a minute.
What's the point?
Jungle Jargon, give me permission to kick him. He's getting too hard to answer his questions.
I'm trying to figure out what's your point. If you have a point.
Oh, I did until I talked to you guys, and you guys set me straight. I can't argue with any of your logic. It's too strong.
So anyway,
So
Will,
your positive position. So you have
Jungle
your
Jargon.
positive position is our position. That
Yeah,
all
I have to
God-
be a Christian now. I have to be a Christian at this point.
No,
Yeah, sure.
no. Proving that God exists to somebody doesn't make you a Christian, sir.
Oh,
That's
well, how do I
ignorance.
become a Christian then?
That is the ignorance of the atheist community. But I would like to say something to you, though.
Can I just point out the fucking ridiculousness that this has delved into? And it's why I made the point of stopping and pausing every time you said you believe in God, every time you said you're not an atheist, every time blah blah blah. Let's just go back 10 seconds and see what like you just let it happen. Fair enough. But let's remember, you have said 10 to 20 times, I believe in God, I'm not an atheist.
Your positive position. So you have
Jungle
your
Jargon.
positive position is our position. That
Yeah,
all
I have to
God-
be a Christian now. I have to be a Christian at this point.
No,
Yeah, sure.
no. Proving that God exists to somebody doesn't make you a Christian, sir.
Proving God exists. So what did you say 10 to 20 times? That you believe in God?
Are you being rhetorical? Because I
No,
said that.
no.
I said I was a theist over and over again.
So why is his thing that they've just now proven God? But that, well, no, I haven't proven Christianity yet. I just proved God. Yeah. What?
I don't know that they've
So
proven
the
God.
very thing that the whole thing started with being conceded, I'm a theist, I believe in a God. We get to the end and he's like, I proved God, but I haven't proved Christianity yet. Dude, your head is so far up your ass. Your ability to listen is phenomenally non-existent. Just like Jill, these people don't really listen. They don't converse. They don't know how. You pointed it out several times in this conversation. You're like, you can't have a conversation. No, yes, I can. I'll fucking do it the way I want. It's like, okay, well, that's not how it works. You are incapable of having an adult conversation.
I want to point out that because he's left that up so long, that quote underneath there, all of these stills are available. Look at that one. That's a good one. Like, he just keeps making, because he can't not make a dumb face, but there's so many varieties of stupid face underneath that only simpletons quote. He put it up there. Yeah, he put it up there. He put his own quote, or I believe his own quote up there. And he is he is fitting every bit of that first part.
It's that level of pride, right? He understands that we could see it the way we see it. He understands when I posted weak as piss, I was talking about his arguments, but he posts it like ironically as though our arguments are weak as piss, and like how strong he's like, look how strong my arguments, you're all weak as piss, not realizing he's just left my argument with my fucking picture calling him weak as piss on the screen.
Yes, it's framing
Whether
it
he's
perfectly. Yeah.
tried to turn it, like he doesn't realize he didn't turn it around. He just highlighted it.
Yeah. Oh, well, how do I become a Christian then?
That is the ignorance of the atheist community. But I would like to say something to you, though.
Also, the ignorance of the atheist community is that if you convince someone God exists, you've convinced them they're a Christian. That's an atheist dumb thing to think. I've never heard.
There's nothing I can say that there's nothing I can say about it that he hasn't pretty much demonstrated to be obvious about him, so I'm just going to shut
up. That is the argument that I usually use to prove that God exists. And I don't believe that without God, you could be a good person.
Hang on.
You're a Christian, sir.
Oh, well, how do I become a Christian then?
That is the ignorance of the atheist community. But I would like to say something to you, though. That is the argument that I usually use to prove that God exists.
Let me get this straight. The argument he uses to prove God exists is that what?
No. Proving that God exists to somebody doesn't make you a Christian.
The proof for God is that proving God exists doesn't prove Christianity.
What?
Well,
I mean, it's not proving God doesn't prove the God of Christianity, but
but that's the proof of God. The fact that God doesn't prove Christianity, that's the proof of God. That's what he just said.
Okay, all right.
So everyone, get on your knees right now. Holy shit! I'm gonna go back. You'll see what I'm saying.
I did until I talked to you guys, and you guys set me straight. I can't argue with any of your logic. It's too strong.
So anyway,
so your positive position. So you have
jungle jargon.
Your positive position is our position. That
I have to be a Christian now. I have to be a Christian at this point.
No,
yeah, sure.
No. Proving that God exists to somebody doesn't make you a Christian, sir.
Oh,
That's
well,
the
how do I
ignorance-
become a Christian then?
That is the ignorance of the atheist community. But I would like to say something to you, though. That is the argument that I usually use to prove that God exists. And I don't believe that without God, you could be a good person.
See? That is the argument I use to prove God exists. The fact that proving God exists doesn't prove Christianity.
No, wait. I think he's talking about the thing he
The
just
next
said.
bit.
Yeah, that
So
without
you
God,
can't
you
be
can't
good
be
without
a good
God.
person. Yeah, that's his argument. Oh,
God,
okay.
that's just as weak.
Say something to you, though. That is the argument that I usually use to prove that God exists. And I don't believe that without God, you could be a good person.
Was that the argument?
No. It's not an argument.
See?
I'm telling you what I believe as a Christian.
That's what I mean. And he said, and I believe without God you can't be a good person. And you said, is that your argument? No, it's just my belief. So, yeah, maybe you are right and he was meaning that. But you can see why I took it the
No,
way
you could be right. You could be right, and he was meaning it. If that was his argument, I think he should have gone with that other thing as his argument.
Yeah.
The second thing
he
is
would
the
have
first
been
thing
better off.
was completely incoherent.
That without God, you cannot be a good person.
You have to tell the truth to be a
Nifty.
Christian. You
Sure,
have to
but what does
tell
that
the
have to?
absolute truth. To
How
be
do
a
I become a
you have to
Christian?
you have to tell the
Well,
absolute truth.
Well, the reason why I said what I said, Will,
Which I don't believe any Christian has ever done, can I firstly say. And I would also say I don't believe for 1 second, because that means Serb's a fucking Christian. And he's probably like one of the only Christians. If all it is to be a Christian is to tell the
No.
absolute truth.
No,
That's what he said.
No, but I know. But listen, even Serb doesn't meet that, because Serb has no way to know what the absolute truth is.
Truth
He
is.
might tell you what his perception of truth is, but none of these people can do the thing that they're requiring, because nobody knows the truth.
Nobody can. You're right.
because a lot of you
Isn't it just pure nonsense when you break it
Yeah.
down?
Just gibberish. But look, this game of pretend has gone on for thousands of years,
Yeah.
so it's fascinating to watch it evolve.
Mm. And it's fun to be part of, like, the
We're
other
tripping up their
side of
gymnastic
it.
routines.
Yeah.
They're in the middle of a big motard forehead wrestling match, and we're like slipping around, a little baby oil in between them.
Love it.
Absolute truth. To
How
be
do I
Christian,
become a Christian?
You have to tell the
Well,
absolute truth.
Well, the reason why I said what I said, Will, because a lot of
How do I become a Christian?
you atheists will sit there and say that God is a monster for all of the things that he does in the Bible. But when one of us make the definitive statement and say that we start pointing at you now, we ain't looking at God and nobody else looking at you, that it's impossible for you as a human being to be a good
Did everyone get that? Is everyone writing notes? How to be a Christian?
person without God. A lot of you will try to say, well, I can be good without God. And I'm going to tell you that you can't. Because you need an objective moral lawgiver in order to be a good person, in order to do any good whatsoever. Because if we don't have an objective moral lawgiver, then there's no way you can be a good person. Do you believe this, Will?
Okay. Cool story. How do I get to know Jesus? you see what I mean about the dishonesty and the dodging?
Yeah,
and
they got to drag you into the script, make sure that you're locked in by the idea that doubts are bad, and you have to do all these things, and first you have to acknowledge that you deserve to be tormented forever for not believing in the unbelievable thing to begin with.
But there's not even an attempt to segue it, or I'll get back to that, but I want to ask this, or it's just Man, ignore your question. New topic. Answer my question. You know, that shit. I don't
want to.
care, atheist, Christian, fucking agnostic, whatever. That shit, that dishonest interlocuting, I know that's not a word, but
We'll go with it.
is just, it's kind of triggering.
I want to point out that Brojo has the best T-shirt idea I have ever seen. Right there, that quote: "Real Christians do miracles." That shit should be on T-shirts. People should be wearing that shit all over the place.
Real
Really put the burden of proof on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like get the talk going, get the expectations up. You know, make them combat why and explain why Christians can't do miracles. I love it, Brojo. Thank you.
Yep. And because it was displayed on my channel first, I have rights. So, yeah, that's a T-shirt I'm making, Brojo.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. Yes, absolutely. You're right.
But wait a minute, Will. Let's say that A is God, right?
I want to say that this is the beginning of chimp out mode. I don't know that he's full on chimping, but he's beginning.
I'm glad you said it. I was gonna say like epileptic fucking fit or something along those lines, but yeah, this is like the beginning of the end.
Missing link.
Let's say that
Again, don't insult the missing link.
But wait a minute, Will. Let's say that A is God, right? God is good, right? We know what good looks like, and we know that the opposite of God.
One, God is not the slap of my hands, and two, we don't know what fucking good looks like.
Well, if we're gonna use the smacking hand god up there, God looks like a genocidal maniac that can't make up his mind about what he thinks about morality, and decides that the only way to save humanity from himself is to kill a human being and sacrifice him. An innocent
And
human being. It is
whose
also him.
utmost important thing in all of time and existence and beyond existence is his worship and the sanctification of his name. That's so loving and snuggly. Don't you just want to snuggle up to that?
Is evil, right? You got, and then let's say that you just got people, but there's no God. How do you measure what is good and what is evil? I'm just curious.
I don't think you.
It's called subjective opinion. And then as groups of people, we just agree. And we go, hey, we all agree doing stuff to kids is bad. Let's like not have that part of our society. And we all go, yep, that's it. We didn't need God. We just decided. Yeah.
And sometime a good associated thing that you might want to stream on at another time is the idea of vertical versus horizontal morality, which is vertical is from an authority. So like anything good is from an authority, be it a king, a government, a god, whatever. And it's only good because they say so, right?
Well,
and horizontal. Wait, what were you gonna say, Will?
I was gonna say you just gave me. I hate to interrupt you, but now I need to take that conversation and go to Gman on his next stream and ask him if the Holy Spirit is responsible for longitudinal milk. I'm sorry. Go ahead with what. That's exactly what we needed to discuss. Anyway, go ahead.
So versus horizontal, which is basically like through human observation, observing cause and effect, observing how something benefits or is detrimental to people or animals or anything in our world. Like we define in horizontal, it's like per person and also in groups, but it's not from an authority.
And would you say, in your opinion, that that's basically the way science or naturalism, that's how we see most things? It spreads out. It doesn't come from some magical top-down place. We figure the shit out. We go, oh, that hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I like this person, so I'm not gonna hit them with this rock, because I don't want to hurt them. I know what the hurt feels like. I have no desire to give that hurt to someone else, something else. It's that simple, really. And then there are people who do desire to hurt, or don't have that non-desire to not to hurt. Sorry. And that's when it comes down to the group of people saying we don't want them around us. It doesn't, but Christians are like, but that's not a good enough answer. It's just people. Like, what? Why can't that be a good enough answer?
Right.
Why can't we, as a
because it eliminates the need for a directing morality from God.
And when you can say,
so
when you
it's kind
can
of
observe,
cyclical.
when you can look at something that God has done, like, and basically said to yourself, well, he had his reasons, and at least it ended up this or that way, no matter what destruction or who got killed or whatever in the process. I think that people use that to justify their own immoral actions.
Yeah.
Because if God did this thing, it must not be that bad, you know?
You're right. And if you think about it, the Christians, like 90% of the Christians you know in your life, you have no issue with, and they're not bad people, and they don't do bad stuff, and they don't hate gay people, and they don't hate, other religions and blah, blah, blah. It's these sort of extreme YouTuber ones where they've latched on to that extreme Yahweh part.
Yeah. And they themselves are like, like verified assholes for God. Like, I'm going to be a dick. I'm going to be destructive. I'm going to be violent for God. I'm going to be a raging lunatic for God. And to them, that's just really strong faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's why I do this. That's why I care. That's why I give a shit. Is those people. Because they're the people, that fence sitters and stuff, people who aren't sure, young people hear this stuff and believe it. So here's something fascinating just for anyone watching. And if he does do it, which he won't, but if he does, I want all of us to vote for him. Apparently, Tog is thinking about going into politics and running as an independent. He wants to run for president.
I love it.
That's his
Tog for prez. Who's his running mate?
I watched a stream with him and Sterling. Sterling showed up, and it was just them two. I didn't comment or anything. They didn't know I was there. I just watched. And it was Tog saying how he wants to be president, and Sterling sort of, digging into it and getting him to talk about it, as Sterling does.
Pumping him up and stuff.
Yeah. And saying I'd vote for you. Now you've said you'll be independent, I'll vote for you. Because I won't vote Democrat or Republican.
It's going to be his running mate. That's what it's going to hinge on for me.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, though.
It's adorable.
It's got people, but there's no God. How do you measure what is good and what is evil? I'm just curious.
I don't think you could. You would have to have the authority source tell you what is good and bad. You can't make up your own mind.
So you have agreed with him there, whether
All the
that's
way,
your
ever
stance
since
or
I
not.
said
Yep.
that their logic was too strong, I'm just agreeing wholeheartedly. Well, I mean, I'm appearing to agree, with everything
Yeah.
that they say intentionally.
You've literally just said, I agree, you would need this, like, the authority to tell you.
Now,
So
I'm being
God,
sarcastic because I'm pointing out that you
yeah,
can't think for yourself because that's something a Christian can't do.
yeah. Which I thought was quite obvious, but he wouldn't have picked up on it. But
You have to have the authority source tell you what is good and bad. You can't make up your own mind.
No, we would have to have an example of what's good and bad. See, a lot of
so it doesn't come down to God. It comes down to having an example. Okay.
Okay.
So I wish, like, that's why I wish he turned up, because I wish he could see this is canon now. This is on record, G-Man. Because I know in another conversation you won't claim this. You know what I'm saying? They kind of
You,
they jump around depending who they're talking to. I don't think they know what they fucking believe, honestly.
I hope you become a regular thorn in his side in the coming, few months.
I'm not going anywhere. If he blocks me, I'll just use sock channels and shit.
I mean,
I'll be a Jill.
He just makes material like this naturally.
Yeah.
Wonder how long. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I watched 2 or 3 of him now, and every time it's this level of fucking nonsense.
Wonder how long it would take him to criticize you by your name.
Name, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he won't respond to me. He won't speak. It's like he'll post my things up on his screen, but he doesn't even respond to the comment. He just puts it there.
I think he would. The name wouldn't deter him, but it's going to be a constant issue during the discussion. He would bring you in, but he would treat you harshly because of your name and because it's an admission you're an atheist. But he wants an atheist to come in. He thinks in his mind that he can defeat all atheist arguments with whatever that gibberish is he does.
Yeah. And I'm going to go into his channel and have a go, but I also want to keep goading him into coming to someone else's channel where he can't kick or mute, and someone else
you have to develop the rivalry first. You have to.
Exactly.
So it doesn't take much with his ego, though.
Yeah, I'll start going in and having chats with him.
Just let him know that you intend to use the material on your own channel so that he will subscribe, and then it's just on from there. He's just going to review everything that you do and try to, break it down, which is only going to make him look dumb.
Yeah, nice. I'm up for it. Someone like this maybe a few years ago might have intimidated me because he was just so full on. Now he just looks like, I kind of feel sad and sorry for the guy. He just
He's
pathetic.
proud of where he's at. Let's if we could, let's go ahead and wrap it because I got to crash soon, man. I'm exhausted.
Yep.
atheists like to say that
we're almost there too.
God is evil and that he's wrong and he's disgusting and he's a horrible person and whatnot. But for that to be true, I would need an example of something that's good. And I know as an atheist never give that example.
God is good.
Well, atheism is a negative position anyways. It's not a positive position.
It's a religion.
No, it's not a religion.
Atheism is a religion. No, atheism's a religion.
He just said no, it's not.
Oh yeah, definitely. They have atheist churches.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's do that again.
Good.
Well, You know, atheism is a negative position anyways. It's not a positive position.
It's a religion.
No,
Yeah.
it's not a
Athe-
religion.
Atheism
It's
is a
belief.
religion. No, atheism's a religion.
Oh yeah, definitely. They have atheist churches, they have atheist pastors, and the concept and actually the laws in this country says that atheism's a religion. Absolutely.
But
I'm
it's
glad
a,
you came around with that one. Yeah. But
What the fuck?
anyway, Will, listen to me. Deal with this YouTuber. I'm going to go off topic for a little bit so that you can understand why I'm doing what I'm doing here. Okay. Deal with this YouTuber on YouTube, and I say was because he ain't here no more because myself and other people. His name was Dragnut Silvas, right? And he came on YouTube and he told everybody that when you go into a Christian channel like mine, you don't take the channel seriously. You don't take the person that is talking on there seriously. By doing that, you would the audience will not take that person seriously or anything like that. Dragnut believed this before he finally got kicked off of YouTube for being exposed as a womanizer and God knows how many other things that he was doing and whatnot behind the scenes. Now you are following his example. You believe that by coming into this room and just coming in here trolling and just being a jerk and everything and whatnot, that's somehow going to prove that atheism is accurate and correct. I'm sorry to tell you, you're wasting your time. What you can do for your atheist community is just for.
So, sorry, Will, even though you're not an atheist, some dude that was apparently kicked off YouTube for being
Dragnut.
a womanizer. Yeah,
I don't know about that.
But for being a womanizer, you're doing the same thing.
I'm a womanizer, I guess. I don't know. I think making fun of him. But I just called atheism a religion. I've been saying over and over that I'm not an atheist.
Yep.
And he still basically thinks that I'm in the atheist community.
You
and all
are.
that.
You're representing all of atheism right now to him. It's fucking pathetic, man.
1 minute. Try to prove that God does not exist, because if you don't and you leave this room without doing it, it's just going to be another day of a Christian getting on here saying, you know what? We told you guys atheists can't prove that God doesn't exist. So why are you even listening to them?
I don't know. You keep calling me an atheist, and I've told you over and over again.
Because you are. Because you are.
You can't tell me what I believe.
Okay. I'll ask you this one last time. You say you're a theist, right?
Yep.
Explain your theism, sir, without sounding like deconstruction zone and trying to sound like a jerk. Yeah, please.
I don't know what you mean by a jerk. What I can say is that I believe that there was an initial source mind that had power and it's eternal. It's always been. And that is the starting, I guess, point of where we are. And it's also the finishing point.
So where did the universe come from? So where did the universe come from?
It is within that being.
Okay. So earlier in this video, you said you didn't know, but now you're saying it's within that being.
I don't know.
But now you don't know.
Right. I'm not saying that I know. You asked me.
Remember when I pointed out all those beliefs?
But I believe. Yeah, but they believe that you can know things by belief.
Wait a minute. So first you say that you believe in a God. I asked you where the universe comes from. Earlier, you said you didn't know. You don't believe in a singularity. Basically, you're not a big fan of. You just don't believe what the science teaches. You don't believe in the singularity, expanding, or nothing like that. That's okay. Fine. So we get back to this discussion again. I asked you, are you a theist? You say yes. You gave us a different definition this time. And then I asked you, where did the universe come from? Now you're saying it's from this God that you believe in.
You haven't been listening at all.
Yes, I have.
Okay, because that's not what happened here. You just recreated that, and it's half of that's fiction. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Okay, you've been calling me an atheist the whole time. I never said I knew. I admitted I don't know. You asked me what I believed. Do you know the difference between belief and knowledge?
You can know based on faith. It is by faith that we know that Jesus.
There it is. You can know based on faith.
Is the Christ.
So can I just say that means everything he said up to this point can be thrown out the window because this dude is.
Well, what that means is that if we have faith in different things and we're both correct because we have knowledge of it, then the world is just chaos and random and nonsensical.
And I believe you pointed that out with the Santa Claus thing. And how every child has a different version of Santa. It's funny.
Son of the living God. It is by faith that Rahab by faith we know that Rahab hid the spies for the Israelites. Okay, it is by faith that we know that the Apostle Paul, and when I say faith, I mean faith that's backed by evidence. I don't mean that blind message.
I don't think you know.
So now it's not even faith. It's not that faith. It's like backed by evidence. So now it's evidence.
What
It
those
is by
words mean.
faith. I'm just letting you know that you can have faith and know things. Just trying to teach you something here.
No,
You
well,
didn't
hold
know-
on. Let me reason with you. Can
Okay.
we reason together? Okay.
Sure. Go
So
ahead.
do I need to sustain belief in something that I already know because I've experienced, touched it? Do I need to continue to sustain a belief in something I already know exists?
Well, you're gonna have to. You want to know
No,
why?
you can't.
Because we understand the world that we live in by faith. According to science, you can't know anything 100% to be true.
So
Faith
there's
is
no way to
for
know
us.
that God is 100% true.
We believe
You
by
can
faith.
know.
True.
Faith. Faith.
can
You believe
know.
something to the point of knowing.
Yep.
You can know that you have eternal life. You can know there is a God.
All right. Well, show me the way.
No, I'm not going to do
Right.
that. What I want you to do is to stick to the topic here. I'll do that at the end of the video. I want you to stick to
I've
the topic.
been. I've
Now,
been.
here's the thing, ladies and gents. As I've been saying in this video for like the last, I don't know, hour and some change on here, I don't think no atheist can prove that God doesn't exist. No atheist on planet Earth can do it. They'll argue that you can't prove a negative, but of course,
That was
if you
my
do a simple
point.
Google search, you take a couple of seconds to do a little bit of research and not be so gullible. Listening to the atheist community, you will quickly see that you can prove a negative. The guy in the room, Mr. Will, actually admitted that you can prove a negative, that a negative can be proven. If that is true, then you atheists should be able to prove that there is no God. If there is no God, you have to be able to give us a good reason to prove that there is no God. Now, since Will claims to be a theist, it is not in Will's best interest to try to prove that there is no God. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Will?
I've been trying to get you to understand it the whole time.
Yeah, that's a nonsensical question. As a theist, it's not in his best interest to prove there's no God.
It's a rhetorical question, yeah.
It's so special, man.
Anyway,
You
Jungle
keep
Jargon,
calling me an atheist.
Let's get
That
back
means
to the
you're not
video,
listening.
Jungle Jargon. You want to get back to the video, Jungle Jargon? Let's get back to the video here real quick.
And that's
All
the
right.
end of it.
Let me get to this here real quick. And then you can tell me what you
Thank
think. Jungle
God.
Jargon, what do you think about the guy that just left?
Hey, listen, let's hear what they think.
I don't know. He seemed like a pantheist. He couldn't grasp the idea or the concept that there's an ultimate creator. The creator is God, and that for us to exist in the face of a perfect holy God, there has to be a perfect covering for us, and only God Himself can cover us, and that is what He accomplished in Jesus, is the perfect covering for us, that only our Creator can create us again, or
Blah, 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 blah. So, in other words, he agreed wholeheartedly with everything. He
Sort of, maybe. I don't know. What the fuck was
like
that?
almost, except is like he doesn't understand like that there's a God and there's a creator, even though you said like 10 times, yeah, I believe that there's some sort of creator, but that you couldn't then link it to, if there has to be a God, that God has to cover for us, and that's in the form of Jesus. But that doesn't explain what he's covering for, why he needs to cover for it. Like, it's just all presumption. All,
Yep.
presupposition.
Well, it's condescending too. It's like, they're claiming that I don't understand something that they claim to know by believing hard about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good to see Rex.
Oh, good to see
Rex.
everybody. Can you hear me?
Mary
Yeah,
Saturnalia.
Io Saturnalia.
oh,
Happy
yeah,
solstice, man. That was yesterday. Yeah. The longest night of the year. My kind of
Isn't it?
party.
Yeah, isn't it the next 3 nights that the sun doesn't leave its solar path, and then on the whatever the third night or whatever it begins to go back the other direction, something like that.
something like that.
All righty.
yeah, that's where the that's where the whole 3-day resurrection comes from.
Yep, astrotheology. Anyway, I really enjoyed doing that, man. I didn't think there was so many gold nuggets in it until you played it back. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, when I watched it, I was just like, every 20 seconds he was just giving gold. I had to review it because he thinks he's quite something, you know.
Oh, they do, because
In
God is
the
telling them they are.
yeah, in that whole Christian scene, it's like,
You want the StreamYard link out there? I don't know if it's still pinned or visible.
yep. Oh,
I didn't know if you, yeah, because I got to
there we go.
crash here. I'm going to have
Yeah,
some
no worries.
visitors later or shortly that I'm not going to be happy about. So I need to try and get a few hours of sleep before they get here.
No, for sure. We've
It's good
already
to see
been
you,
going
Rex.
3 hours and 20, so I'll probably
brother.
wrap it up shortly. No worries. Take it easy, and thanks for coming. So how you been, Rex?
I've been okay, I guess. For an old man.
Kicking along.
Yep. Trying to anyway.
That's the way. Did you catch much of Gman there?
I caught enough.
Yeah. Oh, he sort of disappeared for a long time. I thought he was pretty much gone. I haven't seen him for years, to be honest.
Oh, I hadn't seen him for a while either.
Yeah, but he's had a bit of a comeback lately. I wouldn't call it much of a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback.
He usually has like 4 or 5 people watching, and they're all making fun of him. So I think they're all. He only gets hate views. I see him like Jill. He's just another Jill to me. They're not worth trying to really have proper conversations with, because they're not interested.
No, you can't really talk to them. No.
Nah. They don't listen. They're rude. They overtalk. Like, even on StreamYard, right? Jill comes in. If I let him in, I'll have his microphone open and I'll turn it down because he just overtalks everyone.
Oh, yeah.
And the second I turn it down, it goes straight back up. So he has that setting open there on the screen, and he watches it, waiting for the host to turn him down, and he turns himself back up.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing I hate about StreamYard is that, like, you can mute as the host, but the person can unmute themselves. You can turn them down. They can turn it back up. And he makes sure of it.
Yeah, I'm like Halsey and Will. I'm about to hit the sack, but I want to come up and say, hey, it's been a while.
No worries. Yeah, that's all right. I was pretty keen to end, but when you jumped in, I didn't want to be rude. So
Oh no, man. Y'all take care. I'll catch up with you.
good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Take
Right.
it easy, Rex. See you,
You
mate.
too.
And so, on that note, I think I've got it all set up, ready to go. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Brojo. Thank you, Ashra's Orchard. Great to see you too, Ariel. It's been a while. Who else is out there? I think that's it. I've sort of said hello to everybody else. God, there's 7 viewers, so there's somebody I haven't said hello to. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit of nonsense, bit of an impromptu stream, but yeah, when I saw it and saw that Gman's starting to post again and realized how weak his arguments really are, I thought, yeah, I'm going to stream this and have a look. So anyway, make it the day you want it to be. Be kind to each other and kind to yourselves. Hooroo.